Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Ships Worldwide.
Episode 5.
I said we're not going to say the number because
I think it's episode 5.
Okay, so there was a I listened to the Best Friends Play podcast, right? They're like my go-to favorite weekly one, right? And for a while there, they would sneak in the episode number somewhere in each episode, and you had to find it. And once, because they're on like episode, like they're almost 400s of episodes. So when they're getting there, it's like now it's like they got to a point where like we're not doing that anymore because they had to get so deeply hidden in there, and it was hilarious. But hi, we're back.
Yes.
I think we're gonna move to a bi-weekly
Yes.
Schedule. Just so that means once every 2 weeks, not twice a week, because, of course, English language is awesome. Bi-weekly can mean both. Just because of the fact that, A, we have lots of stuff going on in our lives, and B, it gives us more to talk about because then there's more news.
Exactly.
And, I mean, we had just recently here Comic-Con.
Yes,
Some big news there.
Big news drops.
Not as much as I expected.
A lot of reveals.
Some big news. We'll get to that there. But we also have our weeks first off on, 2 weeks kind of. So we'll get to talk
more
about...
than 2 weeks now.
A little bit, 2.5 weeks kind of. We'll get to talk about how things have been with us. You want to get started here? Because you're first up on the docket, so might as well.
I've been on a kind of a vacation for the past 5 days. Today's my last day.
Very nice.
But I went to a mountain area called Canmore in Alberta.
I love Canmore. I go there all the time. It's lovely.
Went there for a wedding. It was fun. It's a bit of a family wedding, so I didn't really let loose. Didn't want to.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea around family. Don't be like me and get super crunk. I'm joking, of course. Or am I? Kind of am. Not really.
Not.
Actually, I didn't, though. I really didn't. I just had a couple drinks.
Your Discord personality last night told me differently.
What? No.
Other than that, not much else. I'm putting together the pieces for my late year plans, going back to school.
Oh yeah.
Possibly like living with my friends, that type of stuff.
Cool.
Like, might dive back into my journalistic aspirations again.
Awesome stuff.
Yep. Other than that, it's just boring old work. I can't wait to quit.
Fair enough. What about the games? Because I see you got a few on here.
Yes. So I've been just playing more Hyrule Warriors. I'm got 2 maps 100% completed on Master Quest right now. And you know those all attacks are devastating ones?
Yeah.
Some of those now are like you can't use any items. So the thing I rely on with the arrows, like I can't do that anymore. So you have to get like right up close to them, and it's a lot more difficult. But it's a nice change of pace.
Yeah, for sure.
Other than that, I unlocked all the characters too. Got like Yuka.
I finally beat the actual main story of that.
Oh yeah.
I finally learned how to actually get Phantom Ganon's weakness to appear.
Yeah, bombs.
No, you just attack him whenever he is done with his attack.
Oh, I use bombs.
You hit him with anything. It could just be even a regular hit, and he falls down.
Yeah, but like in his first phase of that, before he takes out the 2 swords, he's
Yeah.
like real.
It's weird.
It's really RNG.
It's weird because he's the only one that you fight kind of in other ways, and that's why it was so confusing. Because I'm like, where's the item prompt? So?
Yeah. Other than that, I started Octopath Traveler.
Ooh, I'll have to talk about that.
About 7 hours in, got 4 of the 8 travelers. The 4th one.
Okay, so what order did you go?
I started with Alphen because like I really liked his story.
The healer?
Yeah, I really liked his story.
Really?
Yeah.
Everyone I talked to say that's the worst story.
I related him to the most.
Everyone said that he's the most like. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's for you. Yeah. Huh.
But then right now I just picked up Ophelia.
I just got Ophelia. Yeah.
Her story is pretty damn good so far. But other than that, I really like the graphics. Like I've taken like 10 screenshots.
Just screenshots of
the game. I really like the actual like RPG gameplay. I'm not a big fan of turn-based, but like the way that you can like do like the multiples attacks and all that, and It really keeps you engaged.
So just so you know, it's the Bravely default system pretty much.
Okay.
That's what it was pretty much.
I haven't played the Bravely default games.
So it's pretty. I mean, it's by the same team. So the people are saying this is kind of a Bravely default game, kind of, but it's like different world and stuff. So,
I'm trying to think of the second character I picked up. I'm doing a clockwise.
I am as well.
The second. Oh no, Therion. That's the second.
Oh, I like Therion a lot.
Yeah, and then I picked up Honnet. I think that's how I pronounce it.
I hate how she speaks. I hate it.
I can completely understand because like I took like a course, not a course, but like stuff about like all that jargon. And,
oh no,
yeah.
I know Shakespearean English.
Yeah.
I just hate it because I have to. Because when I play these games, like I'm a fast reader. I scan and absorb. I don't read word for word.
Oh.
I scan and absorb because I've played so many RPGs.
Do you
right?
like let the words like
God,
appear,
no.
or do you like?
I set it to instant. So that literally the words, as soon as the text box appear, all the words are there.
Yeah.
So that I can just.
You can change that.
Yes.
Oh, I got to change that then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's whenever I'm playing an RPG, instant text is a must because I like to. As soon as the text box appear, there's all the words, and I can just. I unless it's like a big story important scene, I rarely let the voices say all of it.
Oh, I like to like them say talk like the voice act because they like.
Oh, the voice acting's good. Oh yeah, no,
But
it's
like
good.
when it's just like the beginning where they say the word and then it's just like silence. That's like I like all the words appearing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Other than that, yeah, it's.
How are you finding the bosses? Are they a bit difficult? Because I'm personally, as someone.
I haven't lost anyone yet.
You can lose people?
I mean, I haven't like lost like.
You haven't
I've
lost
got
a
game
bat.
over.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm noticing. I feel like this game is quite. I will say the balancing on the levels and stuff, like how it levels up with you, pretty much. Because like, if you start off with any character, their boss is like level 1.
Yeah.
And then when you get 2 characters, the boss's level goes up, and it becomes increasingly more difficult, right? I think it's really cool to do that because then I feel like it's really balanced well for newcomers like you know.
But it's definitely like the most challenging RPG I've played. So
Really?
far.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Past Persona 5 and past Final Fantasy 15.
Oh.
It's like I'm actually have to like think about my moves and like I just don't attack. I'm like, oh, I gotta heal this person, and then next I'm actually using the like turn system.
Oh yeah.
at the top.
Oh, you
like,
have to for sure.
Yeah, it's. I'm glad it's not my first RPG.
You know what? It's but at the same time, I feel like for your first real like classic style RPG, because the 2 you played were not classic style, this is a really good one, and this one will let you go into like Final Fantasy VI just fine because this was made. We learned in an interview as a sequel to Final Fantasy VI, essentially, which is like that's really good.
Yeah, I also got the collector's edition of it.
I got it digitally because I was on vacation and I wanted it for the trip back. So
it's really cool. You get like
I
the
saw
pop-up
it.
book, but
And-
like it's like weird because like when you pop it up, it doesn't like really fit, and it's like glued to the like outer shell of it.
Oh, huh.
I like tried to rip it off, and I did, and it's like all glued and all that. I'm like, oh, put that back on.
Huh, interesting.
And it goes back on, but like it just doesn't like you can't like prop it up to display it, you know?
Okay.
That type of stuff.
Oh yeah.
The soundtrack, I just added to my pile of Nintendo soundtracks.
That's a really good soundtrack, yeah.
There's like a coin thing I couldn't like get out of the box.
Just a coin. It's
Yeah,
a collectible coin. They throw in a coin usually just because it's easy to make and kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, and then the box art is just it's like the Zelda one where you get the collector's edition where it's like the main box art in the front, but in the back it's not like a summary or like a little blurb about the game. It's just like a blank.
Oh, cool. Well,
Not a blank thing, but like a more art on the back.
I know Nintendo released on my Nintendo, you can print off
Yeah.
alternate box arts for whatever character you started with or your favorite one.
Yeah,
That's cool.
that
I
is
like
cool.
that.
But I don't want like paper.
No, fair enough, yeah.
I did. But yeah, other than that, Octopath is really good so far. Definitely not my game of the year yet. Still God of War.
Okay.
But other than that, I played the Splatoon 2 Splatfest over the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Played with the winning team, obviously, because squids are better than octopuses.
I can't believe
Octopi.
that the majority population is better than the recently unoppressed minority. Sorry.
But yeah, it was pretty fun. Yeah, what they did this time is because it was the 1 year anniversary. They like had like fireworks going off on all the maps that were in
Oh,
rotation.
cool.
Yeah, Moray Towers was in rotation for a majority of my playtime, and I hate
I
that map
like
so much.
Moray Towers
I hate
a lot.
I hate it so much because like when you get to the bottom, and then there's like a guy like going up the top. You can't get to him right away.
I like it.
And by the time you get to him, like your whole like side is already painted his color.
I think it's a cool stage. I really like it.
It's a cool Smash stage, but not a good.
See, I like it more as a Splatoon stage than a Smash stage.
No.
It's okay. That's fine.
But yeah, got to King. I don't usually do that.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, that's
Cool.
about it. What I've been playing, I think. I also played the WarioWare Gold demo.
Oh yeah.
A couple days ago, and it's really fun. I really like those games.
Yeah, that came out, right? No?
Comes out August 7th.
Okay, I thought it. Okay, I was confused. I thought it came out, and I'm like, didn't even. Okay, never mind. Must have been the demo coming out.
It's like
weird.
How the demo is set up. You like there's like touch based mini game. No, like gamepad mini games.
Yeah.
Twist mini games, and then touch mini games, and
Yeah.
then they throw them all together
Yeah.
at the end. And they're like, oh yeah, I watched a video like all the Nintendo ones. There was like a Fire Emblem.
I saw the
Awakening one.
Fire Emblem one, and I'm
Yeah.
like, that's cool.
Yeah.
They always like to throw those in, which is always fun.
I really hope there's one for Switch eventually.
I think there will. There's got to
It'd
be.
be really cool ideas with the
After
Joy-Con and all
after
that.
Mario Party, which will get rid of the more normal type of uses of it, and then Wario will come along and be weird, you know. So,
Hopefully, it's just not Game and Wario 2 though.
yeah, no, I don't think so.
But yeah, now that's it. I think. Yeah.
You watch anything?
Watch anything? I'm just kind of like rewatching one of my favorite sitcoms, How I Met Your Mother.
Oh yeah.
And I'm planning to rewatch Walking Dead for obvious reasons.
Okay.
And watch Luke Cage season 2 eventually.
Nice.
So I got a lot of my backlog. But other than that, it's...
Hey, you know what? Octopath is a great game to throw something on TV and kick your feet up and play with.
I talked to one of our friends in the Discord, Nino, about this.
Yeah.
Like, how do you like? I like to be immersed with those single player games. I don't like having anything on the
Okay. If I'm doing story stuff, then I pause what I'm watching and focus on it. But as soon as for Octopath, as soon as I get out just into the wilderness and going to my next destination, or even fighting a boss, I'll throw something on and play it.
You don't like to immerse yourself with the music and like the scenery and all that?
Once I get
because you miss all that music, right? When you're listening to
No.
something else. Kind of.
Not really.
Because all your mind, like sound assets.
I've played so many RPGs, and I've done especially on portable systems. I've learned. Okay, I will say I'm focusing on the game. It's the thing on TV that's just something in the background for downtime, like battles.
Well, what I do is I have the game on the screen, and then I have the YouTube video on my phone.
See, I'm the opposite. I'll have Vine Sauce on the TV,
Yeah.
and then just sit back and okay, I'm getting to a story part. Pause the TV, focus on the game. Okay, I'm done that. Now I'm back into just random battles. Unpause that, let it keep going.
But like, you don't worry about like missing like the really cool like immersive like feeling you get when you get into an RPG.
I mean, I played the first couple hours on my TV, and then I'm like, I'm good. I'm gonna play it on my portable now.
But there's so much music in Octopath.
I know, and I'm listening to it. I don't get why this is a problem.
I don't know. It's a thing I have to figure out myself because it's like
what it just comes down to is I played so many RPGs. The ability to kick up and relax with them trumps the getting into it for you.
okay.
Like, I get that.
It also lends itself to my attention span, which is like terrible right now.
Oh,
'cause of
fair
my
enough.
job.
Yeah.
But, like,
No, see, for me, it's just like I will put it up and like it's this game is a chill game for me. It's a game that I can I love like grinding in games, in RPGs. And this game, the way that the job system works so far, I can definitely see myself getting into it a lot.
I have to get job points still. I keep forgetting to
That's
assign job
really
points.
important.
Yeah, so next time I'll play, I'll do
I've
that.
I've almost maxed out my first character for her job points.
Really?
Yeah, because it only once you get to the last couple, it takes 1,000 job points to get through, which sounds like a lot. But as you get going, you start once you get a party of 4, you pretty much never not run into a group of 4 enemies at that point. You always run into groups of either like 4 small enemies. It's usually 3 level 1 enemies and then a level 2 like stronger version of it, or 3 or 2 level 1s, a level 2 and a level 3, or maybe you'll get like 2 level 2s and then one like every area has like a really strong enemy. Like I ran into a wild boar, and this boar was like every hit would do like 500 damage. Like it was scary, right? But just by being like, because I had the full party, do you really have to open that up in this room right here? The super loud container. Oh, it's fine, whatever. My dad's just opening up like his super loud plastic container. But no, so once you get later on, like every battle you get about like 50 job points. So there's not many problems with worrying about that. And every time you get a new character, because I think I'm at 6. No, I got the 7th character, so I have 1 left at this point. As soon as you get them, because the world levels up with you, as soon as you do like 3 or 4 battles, they're back up to your other characters because the experience goes up with it. Meaning that like getting them back up leveled you don't have to grind them back up. Like they all start at level 1 with 0 job points and abilities, but you get there really easily.
Okay. Well, who did you start with?
So I started with Tressa the Merchant.
Okay.
Her story is hilariously optimistic. It's literally like, I'm gonna go and see the world. It's capitalism. I love it. And it's like, it's so happy. And it's like, there's like a bunch of pirates. And you're like, yar, we're pirates and we're so funny. And like, it's like super comedic. And then you played Primrose's story in the demo, right?
Yeah.
Then you go to that. And you're like,
oh no.
Wow. That game's awesome though.
Yeah. For sure.
Yes, I guess that was me talking about it there. I played Octopath. Like I said, I got 7 characters out of 8 so far. Going to be moving on to the next story segments there. Oh man, so Game Explain put up a video on unlocking the final dungeon without spoilers. And so I decided to look at that because I'm like, I've heard game reviewers have not found but when the game was just being reviewed, no game reviewer had found the game's ending. And so I decided to just watch it. And it does it in a way where it's just like, go to this town, talk to this person, and it does it in a way that really doesn't show spoilers aside from showing towns. And so it's like, but I'd watch this and I'm like, that is like Nintendo old school obscure and impossible to find. The amount of like specific tasks is like, use this character's ability on this person to do this, and then use this ability on this, and you're like, what? And like, it's super cool. You could find that on your own, but you'd be using your path actions on everyone to do that pretty much.
Geez, yeah.
It's cool though. And so I watched that. I'm like, yeah, that's why no one found it. It was only when someone got the Japanese Octopath guide that they learned there's a final boss for everyone that leads to the true ending.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, so that's cool. But no, I've been enjoying it. Working on it, but definitely I was surprised it didn't grab me as much as I thought it would. I didn't get super addicted to it like I expected. Like I played for the first 4 characters. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. And then I about at the 5th, I'm like, it's starting to it does get a bit repetitive with go to town, do a thing, beat a boss, go to town, do a thing. So I was like, but it is nice to just pop in another game, such as the one I played on my road trip, which was the Mega Man Classic Collection.
Legacy, you mean?
Legacy, yeah.
Yeah.
Classic Collection is the original one that they released on the PS2 there, but I call it Classic. It's the Legacy Collection of the original games there. Played through and beat for the first time Mega Man 2. Got about halfway through Mega Man 3. I skipped 1 because 1 sucks. Boy, that game needs a rewind function, and I'm very happy it has it because
2 or 3?
All of them. Those games are hard, and I honestly think for your first time playing them, save states and rewind are a good way to do it.
Okay.
And what it comes down to is there are some stuff that I would say is old school video game garbage, such as a boss who is weak to 1 weapon only. You can only, like, when I say weak to, they can only be hit by this 1 weapon. You can use this weapon 8 times in the fight. It takes 8 hits to kill him. Miss once? Well, better have extra lives because you got to die and try it again. And guess what? You don't refill your energy for that weapon when you die. So you have to go out to another room, go and grind on enemies grind them to get your energy back up. Hope you don't get hit because you'll lose life. And it's called the Boo Beam Trap, and it's the worst part of Mega Man 2. It's really bad. With a rewind function, it's a lot more fun.
Oh yeah.
It makes it way more fun. Because you can just sort of go through it and learn the game as you go. Because it's a game that when you're playing it for your first time, you will suck at it. And when people are like, oh, but it's so easy, it's easy because you played it since you were a kid, right? Mm-hmm. You have practice with it. It's definitely a game that lends itself to you need to practice at it. Which the rewind function lets you do without having to redo the entire level every time you die, right?
Yeah.
But I've been playing through it and no, those games are fun and good, but man, there's some garbage in them. And thankfully, those garbage are not in later games, including the X series, which I'll get to talking about some stuff about that later. But yeah, there's some garbage in the super early ones. Once you go past 3, garbage starts to go away because they're made way more competently. But the early ones are full of nefarious traps, shall we say. You have to kind of play perfectly at some parts, including if you used an item too many times in a stage, you're in trouble.
But you can just rewind and
Well, you can only rewind so much.
Oh, really?
And there are save states too, though, which is nice. So I always put a save state before a boss, just so that I can just redo that. Some of those bosses are hard, even with that. I got to give props to people who play it on kind of that they can speed run it or even do Buster only runs, because some of those bosses are I don't even know how you don't get hit by some of them. I actually don't know. I'm looking at the way they jump and the way they move, and I'm like, how do you not get hit by these guys?
And I hate those games that were you kind of get forced to get hit, and it's oh wow.
There's some instances where I'm I have to get hit here. I don't, and there's ways to do it without getting hit. I do not know how. So that's it's fun though, and I gotta say the stuff in those legacy collections are amazing. The amount of pictures of scanned concept artwork, scanned enemy artwork, unused stuff. It's really cool. The X Legacy Collection has every bit of Mega Man X merchandise ever made. Everything is in there, including books and clothing and figures. I love that. They put effort into there. Other things I played, talked about Octopath. I beat the Little Witch Academia game for PS4. Mm-hmm. Boy, it was kind of refreshing playing a game that feels like a PS2 game. Because
what do you mean?
There's a level of jank to it that feels like an old school. Nowadays, licensed anime games are too good. They're really good. Dragon Ball Fighter Z, even the Naruto games, they're all really, really well put together games.
Yeah.
That is not how it used to be in the PS2 era. There were always major flaws with them. Games would not explain things to you. You would just be hot. And so I played that. And, it felt like that. It felt like an old school PS2 anime game. For better and for worse. I'm nostalgic for that era. Other people would hate it. It has the worst boss I've ever fought in a video game ever.
Really?
Yes, it does.
That's pretty high.
It's a boss made to just waste your time. I'll just explain it right here. So this is like a 3D side or 2D side scrolling beat 'em up like a Streets of Rage or something like that, So Dragon's flying in the background. He's out in the background. You can't hit him at all because he's in the background. Spitting ice at you that if you get hit, you lose control of your character and are frozen there for 20 seconds. 20 seconds is a long time. You feel it when you just can't do anything for 20 seconds.
Yeah.
You have to make these pillars of ice in the middle of the map by mashing the X button, which, by the way, is your jump button. So you have to make sure you're on the right spot or you'll jump. You have to mash the X button to do it, and you make one block at a time. You have to make 3 blocks to make an ice pillar. If he shoots the ice pillar, the entire ice pillar collapses. You have to mash the X button. And guess what? You can't just keep mashing it. You have to walk away and walk back to that mark to mash X again. Otherwise, you jump. So now you've made these 2 pillars of ice. He's supposed to see them, crash his head into them, and now you can hit his head, right? Like he kind of tries to rams you into them.
Yeah.
It's entirely random to when he can do it. Sometimes he will just not do it. Sometimes he won't stop trying to hit it, meaning even after he's hit it, he will just keep flying at the screen. And guess what? He will be hitting you because it's nearly unavoidable. It's a bat, and this dude has tons of HP. He's not hard. You won't die to him, but it will just take
forever.
Like the first time took 40 minutes.
Oh my god.
And the second time took a half hour.
What do you mean second time?
You have to refight him later.
Oh jeez.
And it's just like, oh man. The rest of that game is charming and nice, but that boss sucked. All right, and that's about pretty much all I played. I'm moving on to Resident Evil 4 next for my channel because I finally beat that game. Still playing Danganronpa 3. The game's good. And what I've been watching.
Oh, those are TV shows.
Those are TV shows. Okay. Okay, so there's 2 TV shows here that I've listed. They're both anime because of course it's a new season, so we got new stuff going on. One of them is called Cells at Work. It's by the same animation company that makes the JoJo shows. Mm-hmm. So it's good, high-quality animation. Do you remember a movie called Osmosis Jones?
Yes.
It's that, but anime.
Okay.
It's an entire body system with literally, it stars a red blood cell, and her job is a courier who transports materials throughout the body. And she runs into a white blood cell who's this kind of creepy guy with knives that kills viruses. And it's literally, I could show this in a biology class because it so accurately depicts functions of the human body through anime people. Huh. It's really fun. It also has like really, really good animation, and like it'll like pop up medical facts on the screen. It's special. It's really good. The other one I've been watching is called Dropkick on My Devil, otherwise known as Jashin-chan Dropkick.
Sounds suggestive.
What?
What?
Suggestive?
Yeah.
Do you know what a dropkick is?
Yeah.
How's that suggestive?
On my devil?
Yeah. It means a devil.
Huh.
A demon. It's... Okay. I'm trying to put it into terms that you might understand. Imagine Wile E. Coyote, but they're anime girls.
Oh, jeez.
And it's sort of that thing of, I'm going to try and kill you. Plan backfires. First character dies.
Okay.
It's literally like a Roadrunner situation.
Huh.
And it's just like hilarious, like slice of life stuff mixed with super brutal, like I'm going to like completely bifurcate your body with this metal bat. And it's like, well, what if I just dodge it, grab the bat from you and hit you with it? It's stupid. It's wonderful. I really wanted to watch this anime because one of my friends says it's one of my she's so excited for it, and I'm looking. I'm like, I don't know where this is. It's not on Crunchyroll. It's not on Funimation. Where is it? You know why? One more streaming service decides to get in on the battle.
Oh,
Prime Video.
Oh.
Now, thankfully, I have Prime Video.
Yeah,
I have Amazon Prime. So I go on there and I'm looking. I'm like, there's a lot of stuff on Amazon Prime, including. And I remember hearing about this, but never really set in. The first and only official English language version of Kamen Rider. There's no official way to watch Kamen Rider in English ever. Like it's not a thing. But they have one season of the show available to watch on there for the first time in English ever. It's kind of cool.
Yeah,
because there's all sorts of legal avenues to watch other shows, but that's one that, like, there isn't. There's no legal way to watch Kamen Rider. So.
Weird.
Yeah, so I use that. So that's cool.
Cool.
And that's about it for that.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are we at, by the way?
We are at... Let me check. About a half hour.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not doing too bad.
No.
All right. Maybe we want to save this for the end, so people who have not watched. We have an Ant-Man and the Wasp thing here. I think we'll just save that for the end, just so that people can stop the episode if they haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
we'll do that.
That's understandable.
Yeah. So we did watch Ant-Man and the Wasp. We will talk spoilers at the end of the podcast here, so those who do not want to know what happens, don't have to worry. So we'll do that. On to the news. The news.
Lots of news.
Yes.
Western-wise.
You have 14 points, and I have slightly over 14 points. So there was a lot worldwide. We're gonna get a bit of stuff.
Okay, so let's see yours.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have a bit. I might. The Mega Man one could have been one. There was a lot of Mega Man news. So we'll start with you here.
Okay, so Comic-Con happened.
Yes.
Lots of...
In San Diego. Yes.
San Diego Comic-Con.
Of which no streaming was allowed, which is the dumbest thing ever. I don't get it. It's not like people will just say, no, I'm not going to go to Comic-Con because I can watch it stream. That's stupid. But go on.
There are a lot of things that interest me a bit.
Yes, I'm sure.
First biggest one for me was the Walking Dead Season 9 trailer.
Yeah.
And... it looks really good now. Like, it's good. There's a new showrunner this time around.
Okay.
They got rid of the showrunner for the past 4 seasons now.
Okay.
Since, like, he kind of, like, moved up to, like, overall, like, umbrella Walking Dead universe type thing.
Okay.
So they got a new showrunner, Angela Kang. Right now, they're going into a new beginning arc, which is, like, takes place 2 years after the war with Negan. And lost my train of thought.
Showrunner
Angela Kang.
Yeah.
And this looks really good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
is it filmed differently for you, the showrunner?
So that's what I was going to talk about.
That's what I was thinking about.
It's a bit filmed differently. It looks just a lot more high quality shots. And like
a little bit less film grain, a little bit more cinematic angles.
Yeah, because in season 8 it was all about like they were in like the cities and like a lot of gun, a lot of shootouts. But now it's like they're in the forests. They're like out like in the open. There's still like shots of like the communities like Alexandria Hilltop, but they're like really greenery. Like they built up like, gardens and all that. The most interesting part of that trailer was near the end where they showed a few new characters from the comics, really standout characters.
Cool. That
come out in the beginning of the new beginning arc. Magna and like her group. And then at the very end, the one that got me real hyped is that it shows 2 characters like climbing into a ditch, covering themselves in mud, and then walkers start walking by. And the instant that happened, I'm like, this is exactly from the comics when the Whispers come. And
the Whispers.
The Whisperers.
The Whisperers.
Yeah. The Whisperers.
Yes, the Whisperers.
Yeah. And in the trailer, and if you listen really closely, one of the walkers goes, "Where are they?"
Wait, I'm sorry. Are we learning that the walkers have been secretly intelligent this whole time?
No.
Dang.
In the comics, when this first happened, I'm like, oh my god, are they actually doing this? Are they actually like making like the zombies like intelligent now? But no, it's do you want to know like if you don't know what the Whispers are, like tune out for a few seconds. They're basically people who think that zombie apocalypse happened because the laws of nature wanted them to revert to their like animalistic ways. So what they do is they rip the skin off other walkers and wear it.
Oh,
blend in with them.
Okay. That's
use knives.
That's okay. That's
so
fine.
It's really interesting because like
it's not as cool as the zombies are evolving.
I
the zombies have wings. That one has a machine gun for an arm. That'd be so much cool. Aww.
At this point in the comics, so, like people regard like this like time in the comics as like really like the best part of the comic.
Okay.
So the people are really excited to see how they're going to adapt it, and they recently just casted the main villain of the Whispers, Alpha.
Ooh.
She's like a bald, like a leader.
Cool.
Has like a belt loop that's like an infinity symbol.
Oh, of course.
And then later down the line, we meet another like second in command called Beta. He's like 7 feet
I
tall.
was gonna say it's either Beta or Omega. I'm waiting.
It's Beta, and he's like 7 feet tall and has 2 giant knives, and I can't wait to see him in live action.
2 big knives.
And eventually Negan meets him.
Oh yeah.
Right now Negan's in like the cell. You see him in the trailer. He's like locked up in his cell.
Oh,
They didn't kill him last season.
Locked him up.
You locked him up. But he gets out. He meets Beta, and he calls him Frowning Big 2 Knives.
Okay, that's pretty good.
So a lot of like really exciting materials coming up. Another tidbit that we learned at Comic-Con is that we have been told officially that this is Andrew Lincoln's last season.
Yes.
Unfortunately. But like, the more I think about it, the more I think like this is like the perfect time for him to leave, because at this point in the comics, he kind of like takes a back seat, because like at the end of All Out War in the comics, he gets his leg broken.
Oh yeah.
And like when the time skips ahead, he's like a frail old man who can't really do much.
So instead of frail old man, they're just gonna kill him off.
There's this whole like sub story with a helicopter that was in last season, and you see it in the season 9 trailer again. So people are thinking he might just like take that plane, like take the helicopter to go to like whatever community.
Why don't they just fly to like Saskatchewan?
Because they probably don't know what's gonna say. They probably don't like want to go there.
Why? There's no.
And
if
like,
he goes there, there's no zombies
they're
there.
in like
no one lives there.
They're in like Washington, like around that Washington area. You think the helicopters?
Okay, are you talking about DC or Washington the state? Because let me tell you, Washington the state is not that far from Saskatchewan.
DC.
Okay, that's a bit more of a distance.
Also in the trailer, they were like in the Capitol building.
Can I just say, like, I find zombie apocalypse narratives hilarious because they work so well for the United States and like Europe. You go to Canada and literally you go to either Saskatchewan, Northwest Territories, the Yukon, any of those places, and a zombie apocalypse narrative does not happen when there is an average of like 5 people every square mile. Like it is a U.S. and Europe only working narrative. That's why I'd love someone to write a zombie apocalypse story in Canada where no one even knows it's happening because we live so far apart.
A few other tidbits is that one of the shots in the trailer showed the words Commonwealth on like a thing on the windmill, and Commonwealth is a community in the comics made up of 50,000 people that they're like in right
large.
now.
Yeah.
So people are like, there's theories that like that they're going to like skip ahead to that Commonwealth storyline, but also like keep the Whispers, like they're going to like mesh, because it went like Whispers or New Beginning, Whispers, and then Commonwealth.
So they're just going to kind of do parallel stories like instead
everywhere.
Oh yeah,
because in last season 8, they came across like this. There's this truck full of people that gave them like this book, like the key, it was called.
Okay.
To like rebuild civilization, and like that's what they're using now.
Okay.
In season 9, to like make resources more plentiful and like actually like know how to like rebuild society and all that. But yeah, I can't wait for it. Like I haven't been this excited for a new season since like season 6, I think.
Cool.
So now that the Negan storyline's over.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Negan, but like having 2 seasons, 2.5 seasons dedicated to him was like kind of like, okay,
fair enough.
Let's move on.
Yep.
But now he's finally out of the way and we can get to new stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I'm going to go and run through all this Mega Man news because I have a lot to say and I can't break it apart. Okay. First off, new Robot Master revealed for Mega Man 11.
Yeah.
Torchman. Have you seen him? He's like the fire on both sides. His full art is much better than the poster art. Just on the cover. We have Nintendo Force. Hey, go get Nintendo Force. It's awesome. Nintendo Force is so good. Yeah, him, Torchman. Yeah. So he's really cool because not only is it's cool that like his design is awesome, like his full body design looks like a Battle Network kind of style one. Like he looks really cool. He fights with fire kung fu and does Repukens from King of Fighters, where he just goes fire and like does like a Rapuken, you know, like Geese does. He like does like the ground waves.
Yeah.
He does that with fire.
Okay.
So that's really cool. His design's awesome, but his name is really cool because it's a double reference. So there, Fireman. It's like the first fire robot master from Mega Man, right?
Yeah.
His name, when it got brought to the cartoon version of the Mega Man Battle Network series. They changed it to Torchman because they didn't want Fireman for some reason. It's weird. They renamed him, right? So they renamed him Torchman. And so now we have a Torchman, right? Yeah. But there was also back in the day these, do you know DOS, the old computer system, DOS?
Yeah.
So there was DOS Mega Man games, which were terrible, but they had one in it called Torchman. So now we have a good Torchman. So that's cool. Okay. Mega Man 11 looking just as good, just as awesome. Along with it, they premiered the first few clips of the new Mega Man TV show, Mega Man Fully Charged. I was very skeptical about this show. I thought from the first previews and the first art and everything, I'm like, this doesn't look good. This looks bad. This looks dumb. It looks like just a cash-in, right? But I started following the artists working on this show because they're in Canada, which is cool. It's made here. And they're like, no, trust us on this. We love Mega Man and we're doing some cool stuff with it. And so I watched the first episode preview and I'm like, no, this is cool. So yeah, it's redesigned and in CGI and everything, but I think the redesigned Robot Masters are super cool. They really diversified the body types, because otherwise they all just look like Mega Man wearing a different skin, right? They looked very basic. They're like our big versions and like kind of scrawny or like Starscream looking versions, right? So they're really cool redesigns for the bosses. But the cool thing about the show is that it actually uses the NES game soundtrack.
Huh.
It plays the classic Mega Man songs. And, like, it'll transition from, like, the actual 8-bit song into a new remix. Like, it will transition. And it even uses pixel art that is, like, Super Nintendo era pixel art to tell flashbacks. The flashbacks are done in pixel art style.
That's cool.
It's really cool. So, and I know some people don't like it, and I can see why they wouldn't, but I'm watching this, I'm like, no, this is something cool and something that I definitely want to watch. And apparently it's going to air here not too long after the States, but I'm probably just going to watch it online because it's stupid that we have to wait anyways. Other things, the rookie mode was announced for the Mega Man X collection, so that you could play it with half damage, as well as bottomless pits don't kill you. You just jump back out and take damage. That majorly improves some of those games, specifically X6 and X5 there. Some people are complaining that why can't games be hard nowadays, but it's like, no, shut up. Those games are stupid at times.
Called options.
It's optional, and you can't get the beat the game trophy if you're using it. It's like that's I think that's fair.
Yeah, you
can get every other trophy, and it'll help you get some of the other trophies that are more like weird objectives, but you can't get the beat the game trophy with it. So I think that's fair. Speaking of the X Legacy collection, there was a bit of a thing that people are excited about, and I can't wait for the game to come out so we can check. So they hid in the Mega Man X or Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 in the museum. There was a picture in there that everyone was confused about. It was art that we'd never seen before, and it featured a like light green Mega Man with like a brick armor on its head and his hand, and so actually me and this dude called Proto Dude, he's awesome. Go follow Proto Dude. He's like a Mega Man. He's labeled on Twitter as the Mega Man community ambassador, and that's kind of what he is. And he went and looked, and he's like, okay, this art matches the art style of this new artist at Capcom, meaning it can't be before 2013, but it doesn't matter. And he did all this research. He's like, I think this might be from a new Mega Man game. Lo and behold, Mega Man 11 is announced, and yep, that's where the art was from.
Huh.
So, in the Mega Man X Legacy collection, there's trophies saying, look at all the pictures and unlock the secret picture. There's also listen to 20 minutes of music and unlock the secret music. And the trophies are labeled as like, the hunt continues or something, referencing the original hunt that happened for the Mega Man 11 art. So people think that the secret art and secret music is going to be from a Mega Man X9 because it's being done in the same way, and they're referencing our original hunt for that art.
That's interesting.
So I'm excited. That game's not far off. It's coming out just in a couple days here, and I am so excited to see what it's going to be, actually. The other couple things are they announced a Mega Man Mega Mission comic. So Mega Mission was a card game that had a storyline that you could play. Like, it was a single-player card game sort of thing. Very Japanese. It got a comic in Japan that never came out here, and we're getting it. So, hey, that's cool. And then finally, they announced a Patch-a-Slot game. So, pachinko and slot machine. For Mega Man. But it features brand new designs for the characters. And it's weird. Because it's literally... take every Mega Man design, throw them together. It has elements of all of them. It's weird looking. You got like the visor of Star Force with the hair of like... It's really weird, right? But it's Patch-a-Slot. It doesn't matter. But yeah, lots of Mega Man news.
Yes.
That's really good. He's back. He's back. They also showed off some other stuff like for like Smash Bros. I've been watching. It's like, oh yeah, his perfect shield animation is now like his weapon get from Mega Man 7, and like cool. His charge shot now has the rings behind it like in other Mega Man games, right? So it's like just small details that they keep adding on.
The Mega Man 4 remix.
Oh yes, the Mega Man 4 remix by Jun Senoi, who is the guy who does the Sonic Adventure soundtracks. Whom I personally rocked out with at Summer of Sonic.
Hot take. I don't care about composers.
Really?
No.
So no, for me, composers are... Well, if it's a composer I know a lot about, then it's a big deal. Yeah. Like, for instance, Michiru Yamane, who did like the Fire Emblem Gaiden remix in Smash 4. Because I know it's her, I can tell that she used the Skullgirls instruments to write that song because it's in the same time signature and uses the same instruments as the DLC Skullgirls music she made. It's like that stuff I like knowing about. Composers to me, because a lot of them though, like I follow them on Twitter, so I know their personalities. I've talked to them, so that's why it's cool for me seeing a name where it's like I've met Jun Senoi.
Yeah,
I got pictures with him. I've seen his amazing guitar skills firsthand. Right? So for like, yeah, composers mean a lot to me because
like the beginning of that song is just like bliss.
Oh, it's all the songs have been so good so far. Okay, hot take. The only one I don't care about is Snipper Clips.
Oh, okay. I think I'm going to say Snake Eater.
No. Oh my God, Snake Eater is so good. No, it's the Snipper Clips one because for some reason it sounds like it's peaking the microphone always.
Yeah.
I listen to it. I'm like, I don't like it.
This doesn't sound right.
Sounds a bit off, but no, oh my God, that Snake Eater remix. It sounds like a Xenoblade song. It's so good. And that was done just by the composer for Metal Gear Solid 4. So like it's not like a crazy crossover, it's just remix your own song. So that's cool.
We still need the lyrical version though.
I don't it might be copyright though. Lyrics are heavily copyrighted in Japan. But electric guitar in singing the lyrics is the second best thing. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
Like the original instrumental that's in Brawl, it's all right, but it's missing entirely the lyrics because it just does the bass line instead, right? So having the electric guitar sing the lyrics is the second best thing you can get. But okay, back to the news.
Okay, so back to Comic-Con.
Yes.
Back in the
Well, mine was Comic-Con actually.
Oh yeah, it was.
I was, but it's just Japanese Comic-Con stuff.
All right. So I talked about this this TV show at the very beginning of the podcast. The
Quite
first
a
episode.
bit, yep.
Better Call Saul Season 4 trailer dropped as well. Not as much to talk about as The Walking Dead, but looks like we're going to learn more about... Oh yeah, there was confirmed we're going to see a Breaking Bad character in this season, and it's not going to be Walter Jesse. Okay. But it might be Hank.
Okay.
You have no idea who these people are.
You're saying words that mean nothing to me, but go ahead.
Hank is he's a DEA agent. Like top one.
That would make sense. Yeah. And
he was one of the main characters in Breaking Bad, so I'm excited to see how he's gonna like play into.
If it is him. Yeah. Watch it just be like a background character. Watch it just be like, look, that guy who wore that shirt in season 2, episode 12 is there now, and he's talking.
In season 3, there was a character from Breaking Bad who was kind of like that, a background character.
Oh yeah.
If you like. You get like, oh yeah, it's him. I don't remember his name. He was a big, fat black guy. He was awesome.
Okay.
He like did some duping around in the courtroom.
All right.
In season 3. Yeah, we know that Chuck is not doing so well. I don't want to spoil it, but you see how like Jimmy like lives with that and like how he gets past that.
Okay.
On the other side with like Gus stuff, we're going to learn more about him and Mike's and Gus's relationship and how they get like how Mike works for him, and like because in Breaking Bad, Mike is Gus's second right hand man, or no, first right hand man, and like we're just gonna learn more about how like that relationship flourishes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you want to go more Comic-Con news since you like covered it all?
Oh well, no. Well, yeah. Go ahead. Do
we'll do
more.
two. We'll do one more. Venom footage was shown at Comic-Con, not publicly shown, but summaries.
Okay.
And all I know is that Venom bites someone's head off.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
And do you know what Tom Hardy said?
No.
Why he got casted? Like he wanted to be Venom in this movie?
Because he wanted to bite someone's head off?
No, because his child really loves Venom, and he wanted to
give him his child?
Pretty young.
Ooh.
Venom bites someone's head off.
I don't know about that.
But like on the other side, it's like, wow, Venom's going to be like actually like violent.
Yeah, but without a hero in the movie, there's going to be a problem with that. He's just going to be. He's just a bad guy.
It's confirmed he doesn't have the spider symbol on his chest.
Really? I swore it was there.
No.
Oh, huh.
I think you were like thinking of there's just like veins.
Okay.
Other than that, Riot symbiote was confirmed.
So this symbiote named Riot?
Yes, it's like a separate symbiote.
Yeah,
there's 7 symbiotes.
There's Screech and all them there.
Carnage.
Yeah.
Riot was confirmed. I don't really know much about the symbiotes and all that story.
They all have different powers and different colors. That's about it, pretty much.
Venom was also like he also made like axes and weapons that Carnage does.
Yeah, well, he does that in Marvel vs. Capcom too. So
yeah, so people are thinking we'll see Carnage in this movie.
Maybe,
somewhat.
huh?
So that'd be pretty cool. They said there might be a potential Spider-Man crossover. Like he might be in the movie. They didn't say yes or no. But
so it's like a Suicide Squad Batman thing?
It might.
Yeah.
But like probably more respectable.
Well, we'll see.
There were rumors that it might be only Peter Parker, Tom Holland Peter Parker.
Really?
Or like maybe just someone in a Spider-Man suit. That type of stuff. But like the more I see of this... did you see the Entertainment Weekly photo of him smiling? And like the smile goes up to his like ears.
No.
It's like... At first, when I first like saw this, the very first trailer, I'm like, wow, this looks trash. Mm-hmm. But like the more I see him, like, maybe it won't be like
I'm
garbage.
not going to say I want it to be trash, because that's bad. I don't want a movie to be bad. But that's just what that's what I come to expect from any non-Marvel made superhero movie nowadays. I just feel like only they get it.
Well, the thing is that Kevin Feige said like he has permission to use Venom, but he doesn't want to use him to like obviously because
he has permission to use Venom.
Yep, but he doesn't want to use him right now.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, fair enough. That deserves its own. Yeah,
but like people say if like this movie does well,
yeah,
and like Come Down does well, like it might
I was gonna say it might help him integrate it, because then he can just use it again and just pay for it like they were gonna do with before the official Spider-Man being
the
in
Venom
there.
kind of an MCU movie, tie-in, kind of thing. So like I hope this movie does well to get Venom in the MCU and like him actually fight Spider-Man in like a future Spider-Man movie.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. Okay. They announced some Dragon Ball news. The first of which is stupid. They announced new DLC for Dragon Ball FighterZ. It's base form Goku and base form Vegeta. There is now like 8 Gokus in that game, and they specifically said, "Yeah, we're not going to have multiple versions of characters because that's not what we want to do." Well, no, I guess
they changed their mind.
Yes, they changed their mind. Like, one thing that there is it's not that they're not just going to be clones. Like, there's enough stupid stuff that happens in Dragon Ball for them to actually make separate versions of all these characters and have them be different. But visually, it's dumb. Now, Vegeta, I actually have a bit of a pass to because he's wearing entirely different armor. Okay. Like, he looks physically totally different from the other Vegetas in the game. Like, he's using the big, dumb shoulder armor and he's shorter because when he first debuted in the show, he was like 5 feet tall. Like, he's tiny.
Yeah.
So, like, he looks different. I'm okay with Vegeta, but, like, Goku is wearing the same outfit in every version of him. It's just the hair that's different. That's dumb. But, you know what? Whatever. That game's still really fun. It's just a shame that they had to... It also confirms that the DLC leak that was, like, we heard of when the game first came out was, like, super true. So that means the next 2 characters are Android 17, who is already part of 18's moveset, and then Frieza's brother, Cooler. That's his name. Oh, yes. Frieza, Cooler, King Cold, Emperor Frost. It's bad.
Oh, jeez.
But it's all right. It could have been better. I don't hate it, but it's could have been better. Okay,
more Spider-Man news.
more Spidey.
More Into the Spider-Verse
So
footage.
this is one that I would have watched
if it was publicly shown.
Oh, well, there we go. But I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm really excited for Into the Spider-Verse that I don't want to see any more of it. I want to just see that movie. It looks so good. And then I saw what you wrote after this, and I'm like, kind of wish I just heard about that in the movie, but I wouldn't have avoided it on the internet. So
yeah, Spider-Ham is confirmed.
Yeah, Spider-Ham is confirmed.
That's crazy.
Not too crazy. He gets a lot more play than you'd think.
Okay.
Like he's just that level of absurd that he gets brought up quite often.
Okay. I don't know many details of the footage shown as much as I do Venom, but I hear like people love it.
Yeah, it looks so good.
It looks amazing.
So good.
It looks amazing.
Yes.
Spectacular.
There you go. Haha. Okay. Back to Dragon Ball. We got confirmation of what the next Dragon Ball movie is. So, because we saw footage of it, and it looked really good, but they said that there was no title, it was just called Dragon Ball Super the movie, and we're like, what is it going to be? Turns out, they're bringing Broly back. Now, here's why it's important, though. I don't know if you know this. Every Dragon Ball movie, barring the last, 2, because they were, anniversary stuff, so they made them oh yeah, these are canon. None of them are canon. None of the Dragon Ball movies are canon because they literally cannot happen in the timeline.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's big problems there, right? But this movie, along with the last couple, were actually made by the creator of Dragon Ball. Their first-hand creator. The other ones, it's just the animation studio. He had nothing to do with it. So he said, okay, people really like this Broly character. And literally the author, Akira Toriyama, was like, I think I designed him. I don't remember, honestly.
How do you not remember that?
He's bad. He's bad for that. He forgets a lot. But no, so then he's like, okay, so I decided, my editor was like, we should go back and bring Broly back because a lot of people are really interested in him. And this is the best part, especially in America. I don't think he gets that we jokingly say we like Broly because Broly is just the big dumb muscle.
Yeah.
He's just Kakarot. His backstory is literally Goku was crying and it kept me up at night as a baby. I hate Goku. So it's dumb. But now that he's canon, there's hope that they're going to do him well. His new design, it's still recognizably Broly, but there's big differences in his design. And his new design is so good. And the animation is... So what they did is for the character models, they super toned them down. There's almost no shadows on the characters. It's very flat colors. It's very old school, thick lines, but thin, washed out. And the reason why is because the animation is hyper smooth.
Okay.
It's the animation that when you see, you're like, this is smoother than anything could be on TV. It's super smooth. So that's why people are really excited for this because even if this movie has a trash story, which is entirely possible and is probable, the animation on it is so good looking. And it was confirmed to get a simultaneous release in North America in English. So, that's a big deal. And in theaters.
Oh.
I'm going to see this in theaters. I love that. Now, Funimation is just getting movies in theaters. They're putting the My Hero Academia movie in theaters dubbed. And I'm like, oh my god, it's going to be so good. But yeah, no, that's going to be so good.
Cool.
Or it'll be bad, but with good animation, so. Back to you.
Okay, so entering the DC part of Comic-Con now.
I'm stabbing myself.
Now that Marvel wasn't present, DC went all out.
Did they?
They kind of did. These trailers.
Have
you seen the trailers?
The only trailer I've watched is Titans, because I had to know.
I had to watch that one too,
and I'm shocked.
I'm so happy I'm not a Teen Titans fan.
I am a Teen Titans fan. I think Teen Titans Go is not that bad. I actually think Teen Titans Go is pretty funny. That's the worst thing I've seen in a long time. Don't say it.
Heck, Batman.
There you go. I just, it's so, and it's releasing around the same time as the Teen Titans Go movie.
Oh no.
They don't get it. They do. Oh, okay. Go ahead though.
I want to start with saying that apparently the DC EU is being renamed Worlds of DC.
You know what?
I like that
That's
better.
good. That's good.
I like to separate it from the MCU
as much
sure.
as you can.
No,
it's good.
I'm just going to fit all this DC stuff.
Go ahead. Rapid fire it.
The first trailer shown was the Shazam trailer.
Okay.
It looks surprisingly good. Like, it doesn't feel like a DC movie.
Do you think they'll make a joke about him using the iPhone app Shazam to find music?
You know what? Probably.
I've heard this one is apparently really good from a lot of people.
Yeah, we should watch the trailers after.
Okay.
But yeah, Shazam. Like, I don't know anything about Shazam.
You don't?
No. The only thing I know is
okay. So imagine Superman, but he is a person you turn into.
Yeah, I know that.
And he's a kid.
Yeah.
So it's Superman with the mentality of a kid. Pretty much.
That's pretty cool. Mentality.
It's a cool gimmick and balances Superman because he's not mentally mature. So you have that. You have an interesting dynamic of, well, yeah, I could save the world, but I want to go to prom tomorrow. Like stuff like that, right? Like it's way more interesting because he has flaws. He has problems. He's not a horribly perfect character like Clark Superman Kent. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You remember the part in Justice League where Superman showed up at the very end and just like saved everyone?
The only flaw Superman has is his CGI upper lip.
That movie, he was Mission Impossible is coming out soon too. So let's see that. See how much effort.
It's okay.
One thing I want to say for this trailer that you're gonna love in the Shazam trailer, Shazam does the floss dance.
Oh my god, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
But yeah,
he better dab. Oh my god, if Shazam dabs. If Shazam dabs, I might watch that movie.
And then the second trailer, Aquaman.
Big sleep.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's like, wow, this is a DC movie.
Like, I feel
the
like
trailer was really
out
well
of
done.
every character in the Justice League, the one that you least need a movie of is Aquaman. like every other character, they have to be explained who they are and everything about them and their situation. I feel like Aquaman is pretty self-explanatory.
And it really feels like Aquaman is just going to be a DC Black Panther because like the plot details.
Oh my god,
really
are you
echoey.
serious?
Yeah. Someone comes back to
No!
Atlantis. The really cool part is that
I swear to God, if Aquaman comes out and he's like, Atlantis forever. And I'm like, stop.
I think that's actually a tagline.
No way. No. Oh my God.
One of the cool things in the trailer was that we saw Black Manta.
That's cool. Black Manta's cool.
Yeah, we saw him. And then the other villain. I think the guy, the Killmonger of Aquaman.
Oh my God.
He has like the crown.
Striking while the iron is hot, I guess. Oh, I hate it. Okay.
But yeah, it looks fine. The trailer is really well done. Like, one thing I gotta say
remember, Zack Snyder is a trailer guy.
That's what I say too.
So
that's what people saying on people say like the Suicide Squad trailer was good, and then that turned out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's about it for DC.
We got some more Kirby Star Allies stuff, featuring the last character for the season 2, season 2. Free though. Adeline and Ribbon from Kirby 64, meaning that we're getting Kirby 64 stuff in a game for the first time ever. They never, like, Kirby 64 is the one everyone likes, but it's the forgotten one. It's the one that never gets brought up.
Yeah.
So this being in was like, oh my goodness, that's right? Cool.
I don't think it's like freak out worthy.
Okay, but they're adding in levels from Kirby 64 redone in HD for this. Cool. Again, you hate Kirby for some reason.
I don't hate him.
I feel like you hate Kirby.
I don't hate Kirby.
I don't get it.
I have
They're some of the single best games of all time.
I loved Epic Yarn.
See, but Epic Yarn is the one that I'm the most big sleep on. Like, it's a good game, but it's not a good Kirby game. It's not a Kirby game. It wasn't a Kirby game. They just threw Kirby in.
I guess, yeah. All the other Kirby games, I'm like, yeah. It's a right game.
But like Superstar.
Triple Deluxe. I love Triple Deluxe.
You still haven't played Robobot, which is Triple Deluxe.
Because it's still $50. No.
You should have got it while it was 40.
It was 35 at one point. I was like,
you should have got it. It's so good. No. So like, but just like these characters, they look really cool. Dark Meta Knight looks totally different from Meta Knight, which is cool. They each get their own story mode levels, which is super cool, and they get remixed music. They get all this cool stuff. So I'm really excited, and I'm super happy that it's free.
Yeah,
and
that's the
yes,
great part.
This also confirms that, okay, that leak of the DLC, again, because it's got to be, was true, meaning that the third pass, which they showed off, is even cooler. And I'm excited for that.
Okay.
Lot more modern characters in that one, but still really cool stuff that I'm excited to see.
Nice.
There's, the DeRoach, he can summon all the Squeak Squad.
Oh, that's cool.
Like the entire Squeak Squad gets used in his moveset. He just summons them and they're AI controlled.
Is there going to be a character from Mass Attack? It's just a bunch of tiny Kirby's?
Sadly, I don't think Mass Attack is going to be in. I think that it's the rest of the ones that are going to get called back to are the newer ones.
Okay.
So, Return to Dreamland, Triple Deluxe, Robobot, and there was one more that gets used. But, like, newer ones are the next pack. So, it's going to be good, though.
It'd be cool to have an Epic Yarn character like
Prince
Fluff.
Well, because there's the Whip move set, which would work for him.
Yeah.
So, I think that could happen. We'll see. All right. Next up.
The Godzilla King of Monsters trailer.
Kind of weird. It's in the Western section, but then I remembered.
Like, we got to watch this trailer.
Okay, yeah. I haven't seen this one.
It looks incredible.
I love Godzilla, so I don't know why I haven't watched it. I think I just forgot.
It's confirmed that we're going to see a lot more Godzilla.
Do you know the villain?
Yes.
Do you know who he is?
Yeah, King Rodon.
Oh my god, dude. King Ghidorah and Rodon are two totally different creatures.
King Ghidorah? Wait.
King Ghidorah is the three-headed gold dragon.
Okay, that one then.
Yes, King Ghidorah.
That one's like the main villain.
King Ghidorah is so cool, dude. He's so cool. And do you know what the part that got me hyped though? Huh. So the Godzilla that's in American Godzilla is already, he was the biggest Godzilla. Shin Godzilla came out and it was slightly bigger, but regardless, they said that King Ghidorah eclipses Godzilla in size.
Legendary one?
Yes.
Oh my god. Well, no, you see him in a sileuette of him, and he is massive.
Oh, I can't wait. Okay, we're gonna watch that after because oh man, no, Godzilla's the good stuff.
And Mothra.
Oh yeah, and Mothra too.
Yeah, you see Mothra.
You know Mothra's a good guy.
I think so.
Yeah, Mothra's a good guy.
Yeah.
You know Mothra got its own movie.
Really?
You know it's really bad. So just
like it looks. Oh man.
Oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm happy we're in an age where Godzilla gets just good movies again. Because there was a while where they got really bad. Have you watched Shin Godzilla?
I haven't. No, not yet.
I really recommend Shin Godzilla.
Is that Netflix?
It's not. I had to borrow another teacher's DVD of it.
Oh.
You'll just have to find it online.
All right.
But it is. It's a scathing commentary on Japanese responses to environmental emergencies.
Isn't that like every Godzilla movie though?
A little bit, but when I say scathing, as in like the director got threatened because they thought it was making fun of the then prime minister.
Oh my.
The Godzilla in that does some stuff which is like mind-blowing. It's really good. Huh. But this is I'm excited for too. I didn't mind how much Godzilla there was in the first Godzilla. What I did mind is the stupid nameless enemies. Like they don't have names. They're
like the one in the first one.
the two in the first one. Yeah, they're literally they're
Muto.
Yeah, but that's just a
Acronym.
code name. It's an acronym.
Yeah.
I'm so happy we're going with the real good ones. All I'm saying is, let's get Jet Jaguar next. Do you know who Jet Jaguar is?
No.
I may have to show you some old school Godzilla films because there's some that are so dumb, and Jet Jaguars is one of them where it's like a little toy robot that gets zapped with a growth beam and then he flies around.
Oh, that's cool.
It's horrible. It's the best. All right, yeah, no, that's gonna be good. Back to Japan.
You take these two next stories.
Okay, sure. So there's a Power Rangers Street Fighter crossover that's been happening for a bit in the Power Rangers mobile game. They announced that Ryu is becoming a Power Ranger to become Ryu Ranger.
God.
This is awesome on a million levels. So number one, seeing him in a full Power Rangers outfit, but he has his headband and gi kind of still like incorporated in the outfit is super cool. But here's where it gets nuts. So Ryu Ranger is based on the Japanese never turn, because it's of course Power Rangers comes from Japan, right? And then they rename it and stuff. There was a Japanese Power Rangers called Ryu Ranger with 2 U's that never got brought over. And so they used the design for Ryu Ranger to make Ryu Ranger. It's so cool. And I really hope that this goes out of the games and gets put in like actual Street Fighter 5 because it looks so cool.
Okay.
God, that crossover is so cool, and yet it's relegated to a mobile game, and I hate that. Other news story, Monster Hunter is getting a 3D animated special in 2019. So it's a full half-hour special. It's looking to detail, just from the concept art that they showed, the story of one of the ace hunters from Monster Hunter Generations. So he's kind of like a background character who teaches you how to play the game. It's looking to be his story, which is cool.
Okay.
And I will say that this will probably be better than the movie that it's going to tie into.
Is it still being made?
Dude, there's footage of it.
Okay. Because like I haven't seen much. I haven't heard much.
Well, there's been one leaked footage of it that shows Rathalos and Gormagala, 2 monsters, fighting in a mall in Montreal.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we've seen. But actually, from that clip alone, I'm kind of excited because it's going to be stupid and fun. But yeah, that movie's going to suck. Weird how I still am not used to mainstream Monster Hunter. It's still a bit weird to me. I'll have to get used to that. Okay.
Last piece of Comic-Con news that was released, or like a trailer.
Yeah.
Was Glass. Do you know anything
I've
about this?
seen a lot of people talking about it. I've seen Samuel L. Jackson, and that's it.
It's the third in the Unbreakable trilogy.
Wait, what?
Because there's Unbreakable and then Split, which was the origin story.
Okay.
And then Glass is going to be like, I think, the wrap up.
Okay, right. Because Split was the secret prequel.
It was
right?
like a horror movie, and then it turned out to be like an origin story to the main villain of the film.
Okay, and now that it's publicly known, we know that this is the third, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna like, someone told me it's like no one knows if like superpowers actually exist or if like all of this is just massive coincidences. So like I think this is going to be like put to rest if they're like actually like superpowers in this universe or not.
Okay, interesting.
I haven't seen Unbreakable or Glass.
No, me neither.
Split, but
yeah,
like,
no,
I want to because like it seems really interesting.
It's interesting for sure. Yeah. It's very interesting.
And like seeing what's the actor's name? From Split, like
all I saw
James
was
McCoy.
I don't know. All I saw was Samuel L. Jackson,
the bald guy.
I have no idea
with the split personality.
I've never seen those movies. I know nothing about them other than the relation of them.
Well, the main villain has 23 personalities, and one of them is like a superhuman like beast thing in him that he can like run really fast.
I've never heard anything about these movies, so. Okay.
But yeah, that's
cool. That's cool.
Oh, one more. There was one more story. It was about Bumblebee. They showed, like a new Bumblebee trailer, and apparently Starscream isn't in the movie. even though he was like in that trailer.
And that was the coolest shot of the trailer.
Yeah, he apparently is in the movie.
That's stupid.
But Generation 1 Optimus Prime is in.
Okay.
Cybertron's going to be in.
Oh, yay.
But I think like they're really going back to like because Michael Bay isn't a part of these movies anymore. So this might be like a soft reboot.
We'll see.
Like I'm excited.
I will say Bumblebee's new design is really good because you can tell what the shapes are in it.
Yeah.
It's not
more like
stupid
smooth.
mass of metal. I hate the designs of those Transformers.
I'm really glad they like went back to basics after the trash show that was the last night. And do you know what the ending to that was?
You told me because I said I don't care.
Unicron,
and I got mad.
Unicron being planet Earth.
It's so stupid.
Okay. Next.
Speaking of stupid, here's something that's not.
Stupid good.
Stupid good. Breath of the Wild Link and Bike just dropped into Mario Kart 8. Just boom. Here, take it.
I hope this isn't like the DLC that they were like teasing.
Well, they didn't say DLC. They said update.
I hope we get more then.
What I think it's going to be is, okay, we announced a new Animal Crossing. Here's Winter Isabella.
Sorry.
Winter Isabelle and some new stuff. Like, I can see them just dropping updates every now and then. Maybe when they announce a new Mario game, over Cat Mario, you can get, I don't know if they had Bunny Mario back. Bunny Mario is a costume, right? Stuff like that. I can see them doing costume drops every now and then.
I'd like a Super Mario Odyssey track set.
So I could see them doing another big update for, well, this proves they can build upon Mario Kart 8. Like, that's still possible.
And they can make Deluxe feel like more of a Switch game.
Yep. Yeah. So I honestly think, don't give us Mario Kart 9, give us Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Plus. You know, give us a DLC pack that adds more. That'd be awesome, right?
That'd be awesome. Have you played like Breath of the Wild Link and Mike?
No.
Yet?
No.
I did a cup and he's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean it's just a costume. I saw that he does use the Guardian sword, which is neat.
And his horn is the opening of a chest, I think. No. It's when you go into the map and it's like,
oh, cool. That's cool.
That's like the horn.
Okay.
All right. So now I guess there are a few more other Comic-Con stuff, like video game related.
Yeah. Well, this isn't.
Well, this one is a bit of a bummer.
I think this one's going to be run back though.
James Gunn was fired from Guardians 3.
I think it's going to be run back because the backlash on it for the reasons
why. Do you think Disney would be like, okay?
I think it's going to be run back. And the reason why is because the guy who got him fired, Mark Cernovich, that's what he does. He complains on Twitter about people digging up old tweets and trying to get them fired. This was the only time that Disney actually, like, listened. And everyone's defending him. And the tweets are 6 years old. And they're bad. And they're dumb. He apologized right then. And it's been 6 years. And people have said, we've seen him grow as a person these 6 years in an amazing way.
Yeah.
So I think what's probably going to happen is we're going to get the actors of the Guardians are going to say we're not going to come back if he's not back.
Dave Bautista, like, have you
yeah,
seen
right. Yeah, Bautista's like, no, this is stupid. So I think that's what's going to happen because and it's. I think the problem is Mark Cernovich and all those guys. They're backed up by Jack of Twitter.
What's that? Jack of Twitter?
Jack, the guy who made Twitter, @Jack.
Oh. Huh.
They're backed up by him because Jack doesn't want to sorry to get political here, but to like incite the alt-right and stuff. So they don't want to ban people who are stupid, kind of pretty much, because he has the whole alt-right behind him.
Okay.
So I think
hope it gets back.
I think this will be run back. There's enough time that it's like this can definitely happen.
I really hope like Guardians 3
because everyone agrees that like those are stupid. Yeah. Like his comments were dumb. Don't get me wrong.
Even did you see his brother's tweets this morning? He says like, yeah, he was an idiot back then, but now he's like a lot.
Yeah, and everyone says that. Everyone says he's grown so much. So it's like, I think this will be run back.
Yeah, I really need to see Guardians 3 by James Gunn because he even says like this might be like.
I think it will.
Yeah.
All right. We got news that Taiko no Tatsujin, the Taiko Drum Master game for Switch, might be getting a North American release. So people were kind of suspicious when, they're going to be releasing an update that just adds English language to the Japanese version. That's cool. And then they looked in the game files, and how come there's all these English logos for the game? And then how come they copyrighted the game in Europe and North America? So it's still going to come out here.
That's good, because like that game looks really fun.
Do you know what's in it?
like Splatoon tracks and
Splatoon,
Mario Odyssey.
Kirby, Jump Up Superstar. You get all sorts of so there's a lot of cool stuff in it, and I'm definitely excited to play that. I was going to import it, but now it's getting released here. I might as well save my money.
Yeah.
And plus I'll maybe have a chance of getting the drum version, because as cool as it is, you can play with the play with the Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
The feeling of drumming on the drum is amazing, and it's super worth it. So I'm definitely going to get that version when it comes out here. A lot of anime tracks on there too.
Oh,
That's good. And some Namco stuff from like Soul Calibur and Katamari and all that. So really looking forward to that. That's one of my favorite music rhythm games. I played the Monster Hunter theme in arcade, and that was amazing to drum to that.
Oh man, I wish Rhythm Heaven didn't die.
Rhythm Heaven will come back.
I hope.
It'll come back. What? It just had a game not too long ago.
Mega Mix, and they said like this is the last one.
They did not say this is the last one.
It was like regarded as like the last one.
No, it's just like saying WarioWare is going to be the last one now. Just like, it's just like Mario Party, the top 100. It's not the last Mario Party.
I heard like rumors that it was like
but that's just
going to put the series on the back burner.
That's what that no.
Because no one bought it. I'm like,
well, yeah, because no one bought a compilation game of games that they already had.
And there are new ones on there too.
It's fine. Don't worry.
Okay, I won't.
Like, there's so much. We'll get a new Rhythm Heaven. We will.
Okay,
Mark my words.
Okay. Back to Western civilization.
With Spidey.
Spider-Man PS4 Pro console got announced.
Yeah, it's cool. I like the red.
It looks pretty good.
Yep.
I wish I would have got that one. I would have waited. But, oh well.
See, the thing with like collectible consoles is they're like neat if you didn't get a console and you wanted one, but I would never go out of my way to buy a new console just for that skin.
Yeah, me neither.
Yep.
Other than that, the Velocity, the third pre-order suit got announced.
Which one's that one? I didn't see it.
The
What's
Velocity
it look like?
suit.
What's it look like?
It's like really like neon blue and red. And
okay.
Kind of like slits for eyes.
Huh, I've never seen that.
I don't know what it's from, but it looks pretty cool.
Cool.
And then in the story trailer, we saw a first official confirmation that Silver Sable is in.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm not really sure who Silver Sable is.
Me neither.
But she uses guns.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty cool.
We're gonna quickly start wrapping up some of these. Digimon Survive was announced. Yeah. A new Digimon RPG for PS4 and Switch. It's a strategy RPG. So more like Fire Emblem style. It uses sprites instead of 3D models, which is kind of crazy because they have all these 3D models of them. They're like, no, we're just going to do sprites this time. And it's looking to be like post-apocalyptic and like the world's ended and it's you and your partners. And I'm excited. I'm always down for more Digimon. This is not the new story game they said they're doing. This is their other project they said they were going to do instead. And hey, I'm always down. Those games are good. I love Digimon.
Cool.
You have nothing to say on that.
No.
That's fine.
I don't. Another piece of video game news from Comic-Con, new Spyro footage from Spyro 2, the Colossus level.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, yeah, this is Spyro. And I'm like, I can't wait for the game now after like seeing that footage. Other than that, it's been confirmed that you can switch between Reignited and classic music, which got me so hyped.
I saw a thing on like why Spyro Reignited's music is a testament to them not understanding the music and there's like this whole video on like the music theory and like why the music's bad and how it can ruin the experience because of the new music. And he's like, oh, so they announced the classic music and a new theme by the original composer. Mark says unlisted.
And what he just said, there's a new main theme by Stuart Copeland, I think.
Yes. Yeah, he's like in a big band if I remember. Like he's a musician who did the music, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's like I can't wait for this game.
Yeah, that's dope.
I'm way more excited than I was for the Crash.
And it looks like it's probably getting a Switch version too.
Yeah,
because the website kind of leaked it.
The Nintendo Switch version and then the Nintendo Switch version.
They listed it twice to make sure you knew. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah.
There was a new game announced, a new Smash Bros. Like game called Weekly Shonen Jump Jukuyo Janjan Stadium. So do you remember?
Real, rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, of course. Do you remember when we played Dream Mix TV?
Yes.
Do you remember the little baseball guy?
Yes.
So that's Power Pro-kun.
Okay.
This game has Power Pro-kun versions of all the Jumps characters.
Huh.
So Naruto, Luffy, Goku, Deku from My Hero, like all of them, right? Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's a Smash Bros. Fighting game featuring, they showed off like 50 characters already.
Wow.
But the problem is, it's an iPhone game. It's a mobile game. Yeah. That's a bit disappointing. It looks cool though. I like the graphical style because they have like all the characters look like little Bomberman versions of themselves almost. Like they're Power Pro Coons, but they look almost like Bomberman versions, and it looks cool. This was obviously not announced to not cannibalize. Like it was announced just in magazines because they didn't want to jump on Jump Force, haha, and also not for the Smash Bros stuff. So, but looks cool. Very reminiscent of Jump Ultimate Stars. There's been Jump Smash Bros. Like games before, so that's cool. Just this one has the new art style, which is cool.
Cool. So, now I know everyone hates No Man's Sky.
No, that's not true. It's gotten a lot more fans over time, actually.
Cool. Because I really admire their like dedication to this game.
People have said that the game it's almost at a point now where it's fulfilling its original promises. And now...
No Man's Sky next.
Yes, all capitals.
Third person viewpoint.
Thank God.
Multiplayer.
That's cool.
And I'm not sure what else.
There's other stuff.
Other small tidbits, but like those two things are really big.
Now, the only thing I will say is still for me, the general gameplay loop of No Man's Sky, it's still... get resources, go further to get resources and go further. Like there's no goal really.
And then when you get to that goal, you just do it all over again.
Yeah. So unless they add in some big pull of
like a big story,
something like not even a story, but just like a progression system of every 10 planets you find a piece of lore. Every 10 planets you get a huge like ship component to customize in a really cool way, right? Get ship parts that make your ship look like a ship from Star Trek or something, right? Like some pull needs to be there.
Yeah.
Even if it's a hardcore survival mode where it's like you die, you lose your save file sort of thing, right? Like a hardcore multiplayer survival mode. I think that'd be kind of neat. For now it's cool.
Yeah.
But it's not.
I'm not going to go rush out to buy the game.
For
again,
sure.
Like that type of stuff.
Yeah. So they announced Yokai Watch 4, which won't mean much to you. But the cool thing is this one, it's for the Switch. And wow, they're going to give Pokemon a run for its money.
Really?
It's super HD.
Huh.
It looks amazing.
Isn't the cat like really buff now?
So, because they're doing a time skip where it's no longer the same characters from the first three. You're now playing as the son of that character, and he's already kind of like an adult. All the monsters, because you're now an adult, they reveal it's like, oh yeah, because of perception, kids see him as cute things, but adults see him as horrible monsters. So all the monsters are monsters now. Like they're monstrous and scary. The ones that were previously cute are now terrifying. So it's looking like a really huge change up on the formula, but like you look at it and it is you're going to get a full Japanese city to run around in, and it's full sized. And like it looks amazing. I really hope we get this. We didn't get 3. Because those games take a long time to come here because there's so much to them. And 3 was set in America, which is a slight problem when you consider they decided to say, oh no, the games were in America all along, despite there being Japanese temples everywhere. It's a bit weird. I hate when they do that. But I really hope we do get this one because this one looks astounding visually.
Cool.
And hopefully the gameplay is just as cool.
All right.
Whoops, wrong way.
All right, last piece of Western news. Kind of. It's just kind of thing I wanted to mention.
I did see this, actually.
Yeah, you watched it?
Yes.
The Uncharted fan film was released.
Yes.
With Nathan Fillion, and it was pretty damn good.
I've told you my relationship with Nathan Fillion, right?
You have.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I went to school with his niece, and he would come visit my school quite often. His brother works in the same school district as me, and his brother looks exactly like him and is a principal, and it's a bit weird. But no, so like I know him, I've met him personally multiple times. He's the coolest dude ever. And yeah, so seeing this was like, hey, it's my boy. So that's super cool. Yeah. And it's cool. It's really well done.
Oh yeah, I really like the actual video game aspect of it, of what like the frame opened up.
Yeah,
and, like it was behind him.
It's cool. It's cool. It's well done.
I like the casting of like Sully and Elena. Sully doesn't look exactly like Sully, but like,
well, you can't. I mean, he doesn't look exactly
but like
like
I was
Nate,
surprised
you know?
they got that actor
Yeah.
to play him. That was pretty cool.
Oh, well, he loves games. He's a huge gamer. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
And the last bit of news, they announced so every time Pokemon movies end in theaters in Japan, they have the announcement of the next one at the end, like the hook. They announced that the next Pokemon movie is Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. The first Pokemon movie is called Pokemon, the first movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back. So it's looking like they're remaking the first Pokemon movie, which is cool because since the last Pokemon movie, not the one that's out now, but the last one, it's been a continuity reset where it's like, what if Ash never met his friends and went on a journey alone? And so it's really interesting to see him doing, like, it's still him, but he's totally different in personality. It's a lot more serious, and they're genuinely good movies. Because Pokemon had a weird thing where it's like, they were good. They were pretty good. They were in the middle there. There were some that were actually really good. And then they got horrible. They got so bad. They got, like, abysmal at one point. The Genesect movie is one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Wow.
It's bad. It's literally just a cash-in. It was bad. So then after a couple, they then did Pokemon the movie I Choose You, which is basically, okay, you watch the first couple episodes of the Pokemon TV show, but then a big change happens. And you get to see what if Ash never met his friends, what if he went on this other journey, and it was really well done. The new movie that is coming out is, again, it's Ash goes to a town, and it's called Everyone's Story, and it's literally, it's like Octopath, where there's like 6 characters and you're following their own journeys. It's really cool. And apparently it's a really good movie.
Okay.
Separate from being a Pokemon movie. So for the next one, it looks like they're doing Mewtwo Strikes Back again, but it's going to be different because, okay, Ash doesn't have his friends. And with the title Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, I think Mewtwo might evolve. Oh. We got Mega Mewtwo, but we
Mew 3.
I was going to say we could get Mew 3. We could get Mew 3. We'll have to see. I'm excited for that. We'll see. We'll see next year. The second movie hasn't come out here yet. So when that happens, hopefully it comes out in theaters again. Seeing that in theaters was a lot of fun. The last Pokemon movie there. I'm a big fan of watching anime in the theater. They've been doing that a lot, and I'm really enjoying it. Something about the whole...
Is there a big turnout on those, or
for Pokemon and Dragon Ball? Oh yeah. My Hero will get a big one too.
Okay.
That these are big ones, right? There's some, and Your Name also got a huge turnout, but that's only because that movie was Oscar winning and emotionally ruined me. That's an amazing film. But yeah, so we'll have to see about that.
All right,
and that is about it for the. There's a lot of news.
First half of the podcast.
First half of the podcast here. We have the import section coming up after the break, as well as we have some mail.
Yeah.
We have some questions we're going to answer.
Yes,
we'll get to go listen to that after the break.
Bye.
Ciao. And we're back. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the import section. Ready to get those imported goods. And guess what? We're tax-free. No import fees required, right? It's weird. Occasionally, it's like, I get stuff from Japan, and it's like, yeah, no worries, no imports. And then sometimes it's like, sorry, you have to pay like $40. And I'm like, why? And they're like, import fees. I'm like, oh, everything else doesn't. It's like, it's just, this one does. And it's like, it's weird. It's weird. AmyAmy.com. Not to shill them. They never do.
Is that toilet ever going to like shut up?
Did you flush it?
I did.
Did you jiggle the handle?
No.
Okay, maybe go jiggle the handle.
Okay.
Anyways, I'll be using this time to explain. Just flush it again and jiggle it. I'm gonna use this time to explain the section here for those of you who don't know. Essentially, we don't cross over the goods that some people thought. That'd be cool. But instead what we're doing is we basically tell each other, because I like stuff from Japan, he likes stuff from the West. We tell each other of these franchises that we really like and why we should give them a try and like the best parts of them. The stuff that you need to get past to enjoy them, then finally something interesting about them. And the two franchises we're doing today are ones that I think we both have dabbled in a little bit. Little bit.
Oh, yeah. Okay, each other, like, you mean each other. I meant, like...
Yeah.
I haven't just dabbled in the...
No, what I'm saying is I dabbled in it a bit, and you
Yeah.
dabbled a bit in mine. Just a bit, but a little bit.
Yeah.
So, we're doing...
The Walking Dead?
And Castlevania.
Specifically the comics.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
Yes,
I'm doing specifically the... I'm doing all of it, because, I mean, there's, like, one...
I mean, okay,
one
I'll
animated
do
thing, but-
both. I'll do, like, the whole franchise then.
Well, I mean, it's fine. It is similar enough that you can talk about both of them.
Yeah.
Yep, cool. So let's start off with what is the... Okay,
You go first.
sounds good. So we start off by explaining the overall premise.
Yes.
So, back in time, a man becomes a vampire named Dracula. And obviously, you can't let that stand. This dude's going around. He's killing people. His castle is warping different places. He wants to go to Transylvania. He'll be in Transylvania. He wants to go to Europe. He'll be somewhere else in Europe. He wants to go to the moon. Heck, he will teleport his castle to the moon. But he goes there. He's killing people. He's putting people's heads on sticks. You can't have that. How do you deal
Can have not
with...
that. Sir!
No, how do you deal with that?
How do you do that?
It's simple. You kill him using a super blessed whip called the Vampire Killer.
That's badass.
It's so badass. And this whip is passed down through a family, through a clan called the Belmonts. This family, it's their job is to every 100 or so years kill Dracula again. So you got... back in time, you got all... I don't even remember the ones. Because the first game in the series is like a PS2 game. It's like a 3D character action one. I'm mostly talking about kind of the classics, going to some of the later Igavania type ones.
Okay.
But you got like Trevor Belmont. You got Simon Belmont. Later on, you get other people taking up the mantle, such as Eric Lacard. You got Alucard, who is... what's Alucard's name backwards? Think about it.
Dracula.
It's Dracula's son. You got other people. You got Jonathan and Charlotte. So it's essentially the endless retelling of Dracula's back. We gotta kill him. And how the time period changes with that.
So it's like Zelda almost,
It's
where the evil comes back,
definitely,
and the heroes are back, and they gotta
definitely,
and then skip ahead.
Now there are some certain elements that are like I'd say the canon is a lot stronger than in Zelda, as in like these are all characters who are family with each other.
Yeah.
So you will even get to see, for example, one of them will appear as a ghost, or one of them will appear as an old man or something, right? You'll get to see that, right? But you still have a widely different, like the first ones take place in I think like the 1300s, so like well before any sort of machinery at all. The latest one in the series I think takes place in 2115. And there's like laser guns.
Wow.
And it's pretty dope. the series definitely goes through some art style shifts. The first ones are very dark noir. They go very anime for a bit. But for the most part, it's a super solid series that, yeah, it does lend itself to a formula, but it's a good formula.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. All right. Hit me up with the story of The Walking Dead.
So there isn't a real coherent like end game to the series, but it is the story of a character named Rick Grimes who wakes up in the hospital after being in a coma for a bit because...
Can I just say, he wakes up in that hospital and there's a door in that hospital. And I see this door always. And every time I see it...
Don't dead open inside?
Don't dead open inside. Why? It's so dumb. It's iconic, I get it, but it's so bad. It's like that one...
He was in a rush.
It's like that one sign that says, touch the sky, hold sky, the hold. You've seen that?
Yeah.
It drives me... like.
That's what it was inspired from.
It's
like a subreddit.
I know, I'm subscribed to it so I can feel rage whenever I need, because I hate it. Go ahead.
But yeah, story. He wakes up in the hospital. He's wondering what the hell's going on. Like, why is the hospital abandoned? And then he walks out and sees a bunch of corpses everywhere.
Yeah.
What's going on? And he has to go find his family, which he does. And then from there,
Let's go find Coral.
he finds Coral.
Finds Coral.
Then he meets up with them and gets integrated into a group, which he becomes the leader of. And then so on and so forth. He comes across crazy one-eyed men, guys who want to kill him with a tank. Come across cannibals. You come across
Cannibals?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
There's
It's a bit ironic in a zombie apocalypse, but...
It's one of my favorite arcs in the comics, Fear the Hunters.
Okay.
In the comics, they're just going through the forest because the place they were at got destroyed, and they're just going through the forest, and then they start getting hunted by these like figures in the background. Because like in the comics, you can like see these like heads in the bushes like sometimes.
Ooh, creepy.
And it was like really horrific like sometimes. And then they get to the church, meet like a priest called Father Gabriel. All that happens, and then at the very end, I don't remember exactly how it happens. In the TV show, it's all about Terminus, but like get to the church part, they leave the church to go find the hunters. But then the hunters like sneak up to the church where everyone like where the kids and like the priests are and all that. But they come back to like trick them, and then they just murder them. They cut off limbs, and like in the comics it was a lot more brutal where they like showed like the cutting off the limbs.
You could definitely do a lot more in comic form than on a TV show for obvious reasons.
Oh yeah, and they throw like the body parts into the fire and all that, and that was like the dark. That was like the lowest point they got to in the comics because they were like out of food, out of water, and like being hunted by cannibals. And then they eventually make it to Alexandria, where they are now in the TV show. Come across a baseball wielding freak.
Oh
Not
yes,
freak, but like maniac. And then so on and so forth. So there's not really an end game to it. It's just kind of like survival.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like some people like need like a goal in their story.
Like a big glowing blue pillar in the sky that if they go to, all the zombies die.
Yeah.
Sorry. The walkers. Can't say the
Walkers.
Z word for some weird
Because zombies have never existed in the universe.
That's weird, because zombies aren't even a thing in fiction. They are a thing that happens in nature.
Because then, like, how are they going to be like?
Why can't you say zombie?
Because they don't know what zombies are in that universe.
But that-
because if they did, they'd be like, "Oh, this is how you kill a zombie," and it would just be less interesting.
Okay, I see. So it's not the name; it's the nature of them. Okay,
It's the nature of them. Yeah,
fair enough. Okay, that's a bit more. It makes sense. Okay.
yeah. That's basically the.
I guess it should be said, I did take a class in university where we actually studied the first episode and first volume of The Walking Dead in a pop culture class. So I did get to look at it in that environment, and it was very interesting.
Yeah.
Nothing more than that, but it was still a very interesting class there. So I got to experience that there.
Cool.
All right.
So another good.
Let's talk about our favorite parts about them. So, Castlevania. Number one, oh my god, the music. So, I mean, I am talking about this a little bit because I do really want Simon Belmont or Trevor Belmont in Smash. I think he definitely not only deserves it, but he is a Nintendo icon.
Yeah.
He's the last character from Captain N who is not in Smash Bros. And that's a big deal for me. But the music of Castlevania is so good, it should be in Smash Bros. Some of the main themes are like Bloody Tears and Vampire Killer are outstanding tracks. Even the later ones, which just got more atmospheric style ones, are amazing. The castle theme for Symphony of the Night is just such a good journey song. Like it feels like you're on an adventure, right?
Yeah.
The gameplay itself is quite wildly different. There's three if you count the 3D ones, but I don't count the 3D ones. There's two major styles of Castlevania games. There's the linear Classicvania games. So you have it's pretty much you're at the start of a level and you go to the end of it. Like it's a platformer, right? And some of the key things about that is, and some people might view this as a bad, but this can be done as a good. You have no control of your character when they're jumping. So when you jump, if you launch off at an angle, you will go a set distance. You cannot move in the air. Now that sucks when you don't know you don't know the jump arcs. That'll suck. Once you know the jump arcs, it really lends itself to, okay, it is not figuring out the timing or the distance on the jumps. It is now figuring out where to jump, and it's a lot more like your jumps are set. There's no variables to them. And it's very interesting. And they actually brought that back for Bloodstained Curse of the Moon.
Okay.
But the levels themselves are very much straightforward. There might be a branching path here or there. So if you go a certain way, you'll go to one level or go to another level. And they are quite difficult. They are games that they're NES difficult. I mean, that's a system full of tough games. The best one I'd say if you want to play Classicvania is actually the one on Super Nintendo, Super Castlevania 4, which is on the NES SNES Classic there. Good music in that one too. Real good music. And then the other one is the Igavanias. So these are Castlevania games mostly made by the producer Iga, who worked at Konami there, and they are more Metroid-like. You have a large castle to explore, and you can go in any direction, and it's go down paths, find items which unlock new possibilities. So, you get, for example, the first one in the series was Symphony of the Night. You get the ability to turn into a bat. You can now fly around. You get the ability to turn into mist. You can now go through grates, go through windows, go through anything that you couldn't before. You get the ability to stop time. You get you get all these abilities that open up the castle. And one crazy cool thing which Symphony of the Night did, which now is replicated quite often, but blew people's minds back in the day. You can get an item that makes it so when you beat the final boss, normally the final boss is actually a Belmont in that game. Because you're playing as Alucard, right? And the final boss looks to be Richter Belmont, one of the Belmonts. And you're like, this is weird. Richter's a good guy. We worked together before. Why is he... Or I worked with his grandfather. It's like, why is he fighting me, right? So then, if you get this certain item and put it on, you see in the background, there's a wizard controlling him. Oh. And you're like, what? So then you beat him up instead. It's a 2D game.
Okay.
And then it's revealed, yeah, no, this is all a big trick. I'm controlling him. What does he do? He goes through a portal. You go through it. You're now in the castle, but the castle is upside down. And you go through the entire level, the entire castle, inverted. With new bosses, new enemies, new weapons, but the level is entirely flipped. Everything.
That's cool.
You can now, it used to be, you'd have to worry about falling into bottomless pits. Now you worry about falling into the sky. The caves of fire at the bottom of the map, you used to worry about the fire down there. Now it's like, now you're on the floor and you can walk safely there. So it's like, it's really cool what they did, where now the entire map has a totally different way of going about it. And everything is really different and really cool. So that's a really cool feature. I'd say Symphony of the Night in particular is a game everyone needs to play once in their life. That is should be on everyone's gaming bucket list sort of thing. Okay. It also has, unlike say Metroid, it has a level up system, so you get experience for killing enemies, and enemies drop weapons, which just change how you play. swords, axes, whips, they all play differently. It's really cool.
Okay.
So hit me up with what is your favorite aspects of The Walking Dead as a franchise.
So when you hear The Walking Dead, you think of zombies and walkers, right? Like,
yes.
Right away. Well, the main thing about this series is about the characters and like the relationships, and like in the comics especially, like how the relationships build between the characters and how they like evolve and like play off each other is really, really cool. And, like just how like well they like get to know each other and deal with situations, like some more grueling than others, but other than that, the villains in the series are really, really cool. There's some exclusive to the TV show, like Dawn. She was she led a hospital, or she was in charge of a hospital place where they found survivors around the area, brought them back to like save them and all that, but like in return they had to like work for her, like work for the hospital, and they couldn't leave, so they were like stuck there, basically like slaves.
That sounds like a bit of a problem.
Yeah. But like another cool aspect is like seeing how the comic adapts to the TV show and like how it's like different and similar in ways,
because it's not a straight adaptation.
No, because there are a lot of variations, and like not just like even within like the same situations there are like variations, because like the most recent one where the end of All Out War with like Negan, in the comics it took place in like front of the hilltop, one of the communities, like with everyone standing around, and in the TV show it took place in a field around like a tree, and Rick cuts Negan's throat but doesn't kill him with a knife in the comics, but in the TV show he cuts his throat with a piece of glass. So there's like the little variations like that.
And so that even if you see in the original, it's still a surprise.
Yes, yeah.
Cool. I think that's neat. Yeah.
There's also some like differences where in like season 4 there was like this swine flu outbreak that they got in the prison. And
was
they had
it
to deal with that.
zombie swine flu?
Well, yeah, they died.
Oh yeah,
right
I guess
away.
that would be a big problem.
Yeah, because like dying in your sleep.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah,
that was a big problem in season 4, and then it seems like in the following season 9, they're going to be like deviating, because like right after the New Beginning starts, so like they get into like the Whisper stuff.
Yeah,
but it seems like in this one, in the TV show, it's going to deal with like civil unrest between like the saviors, the previous enemies.
Yeah,
now they live together, right? After Negan's been like dethroned, and like people aren't like okay with that and all that kind of stuff. Going to like Civil War type stuff. But another thing was like the villains. Like there's like the governor, who's like one-eyed villain with a tank who destroys a prison.
A tank is a pretty strong thing in the apocalypse. I feel like you're pretty set in there.
One of the TV shows, one of the governor comes across a group, and one of them is like a military guy and has a tank from that he owns. I don't remember what it was like for the comic, but like after that, there's like cannibals as a previous.
But like, can a zombie do anything against a tank?
No, but the tank was more used against the.
I know, yeah.
Survivors.
It's a strong tool, yeah.
But it's kind of slow though.
But you're perfectly safe in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like in the very first episode, you watched it. He got Rick on.
Oh right, yeah, you're right, yeah.
But again, you can't stay in there forever, right?
True. Yeah.
But the villains like cannibals, then Negan, like I've said his name a lot of times on this podcast, but like he's like one of the best villains, and like
very charismatic. Yes. Even I, from the couple episodes I watched with you guys there, very charismatic for sure.
Oh, yeah, he's awesome. He's pretty violent.
He's pretty violent. Yeah,
he's violent.
He is.
You didn't watch the episode like where he like killed when they were in the lineup.
Oh well, no, I saw that. You showed it before.
But I think we watched like the end of it.
Yeah,
after, but like not as it was happening.
Oh no, you did. You showed us. Oh, I remember seeing that. Oh yeah.
That episode was pretty controversial.
It's brutal.
That was like I think the most violent episode in the series.
Yeah, it's
which
rough.
I love it for, because like that's like how you should feel, and like that's how like Negan should be introduced.
Oh that.
Yeah. Then after that, there's the Whispers with the skin over the top of them, and like the really horror aspect of that. Because like imagine, because in the comics, the main villain Alpha releases a horde of walkers into Alexandria, and
rough.
Imagine the whispers being integrated in that, and like you're hiding in the house, and they can like open the doors and like kill you.
Okay.
That I hope to see that stuff in the TV show.
Okay,
that'd be really cool. But yeah, lots of stuff to love. Yeah.
All right. Right now we got to talk about the problems. The big problems. There's a couple with Castlevania for sure. For one, I'm gonna wait till you finish your drink. It's a Konami franchise. So,
are you referring to the fact that like there's...
getting better, but don't expect much new. It's definitely one you gotta use the old. And like and when they try to do new, they got us like Lords of Shadow, which is just a crappy God of War clone, and it's like no, please, you don't get what we like. And then after that, they're like, it's the Castlevania Pachinko with the words sexy erotic action on the screen.
What?
And you're like, stop. That's not what we're here for. The company itself does not handle it well. Thankfully, Iga, the creator, broke off and made a Kickstarter for what is essentially the next game. And like having played that demo, it's not another Mighty Number 9. They got it. Cool. They're doing good. Games are also, the classic ones are tough. They are definitely tough. I would recommend if it's your first time playing.
You would regard that as a negative? Difficulty? Because that's pretty subjective.
It's subjective, but I mean, okay, so for the first game and the fourth game, which is a remake of the first game, those games aren't too bad.
Is it unfairly difficult?
So that's where I get in. Yeah, the second and third games, Castlevania 2 and 3, that's where you get into the unfairly difficult.
Okay.
That's where you get into, to progress in the game, you have to hold an item and kneel in the corner for 15 seconds, and a tornado will take you to the next area.
Oh, God.
Combined with some problems with the game and localization issues and outright lies, there's some artificial difficulty in some of the earlier ones. Now, the Igavanias are much better. They're much more, number one, if you ever get stuck, find a better weapon or level up. Like, you have stats behind you, right? Mm-hmm. But just overall, they're a lot more open and still fun, and they're actually, some people would say they're too easy, but I actually just find them to be fun. Like, they are a fun difficulty where you feel good playing it. Some of the older ones are quite difficult. And finally, just availability on whatever console. Like, they're not super widely available. Like, you can't play any of them on PS4. PS3, you can download some classic versions. Super Nintendo and Nintendo Classic both have a couple of them, but not all of them. So I would definitely say, like, to get the games, you have to play on a bunch of consoles. There's no collection yet, which there should be. And like,
but Konami,
and like, you know, there's remakes, but they're on like the PSP, so it's like they're spread quite apart. But other than that, they're really good. Those are the few negatives I have.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, hit me up with the problems of The Walking Dead.
All right, so in the comic side, there are a bit of it's just with the issue with comic series. If you're like following up to date, if there's like an issue where it's like nothing happens, you have to wait another month.
Oof, stuff. That makes that's a problem.
Yeah, because they're like, just in this recently passed issue, there's kind of like right now they're in the Commonwealth storyline, like with the 50,000 people and all that kind of stuff. Right now they're just kind of like settling in, like knowing each other, getting to know each other, like Alexandria and the Commonwealth, and like what's going to happen type of stuff. Because they're not really villainous yet. They're not really like out to kill like people. They're just kind of like their ideals. It's getting really political, that type of stuff. Okay. It's like, oh well, we want to restore the world to like a ladder type of society where you have to work for your stuff. But like Alexandria and those communities just like have everything, and like you just
those commies. sharing their resources.
Yeah, sharing. And
Ugh.
There's no one at a higher level. And,
There's no taxation.
And there's a bit of like pressure between like the leader of the Commonwealth, what's her name? Pamela Milton and Rick, where they're like, oh, well, I believe this should be like this, and like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like going back to the negatives, there's also like the Whisper storyline ended recently.
Yeah.
And it kind of like ironically ended in a whisper where they kind of just like died out and
okay.
kind of like scrapped. But like they had like a bunch of issues like leading up to they had a volume called the Whisper War where they actually like went to war with
that
the
sounds
Whispers.
super cool.
But now it's just kind of like, I don't want to spoil it. I guess I would spoil it because like not many people are listening to this are gonna like be
no,
like,
not on my channel.
Beta, he just kind of like gets killed. He is like the last Whisper, and there's like still right now. The previous issue, one of the characters is just like actually says like they died with a Whisper, and they kind of joked about it. But like the way they like said that is like maybe they'll come back in the future. Maybe there's still some out there, and there's like some groups who are like got forced into that way of life that are like integrating into like Alexandria and like those communities.
Yeah,
like that type of stuff. Like making sure that they're still not like crazy insane and that kind of stuff. Transitioning to the TV show, recently the recent seasons 7 and 8, the writing's been kind of like it's kind of tapered off. Kind of been getting a bit what the hell type of stuff. In one episode, Rick and Negan are fighting, and Rick gets gets shoved out a window, and like finds a gun, but doesn't like go in there to kill Negan because Negan doesn't have a gun; he only has his bat. But Rick just runs away.
Yeah, but what if Negan used the bat to hit the bullets back?
No, that'd be cool.
That'd be so cool.
Well, an episode in the
batter up, Rick. He fires a bat. Oh, that'd be so hype.
In the comics and the TV show, a thing happens where someone tries to shoot Negan, but instead hits Lucille the bat.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
We saw that episode. Yeah,
and it's like whoa, and Negan freaks out. But like, there's another negative in the TV show. I guess just like the writing is kind of like iffy sometimes, and again like with the fact that like there isn't an end goal. So you're just watching to like go. But I like that. I like the continuing tale of survival. I'm like, what are they going to come across next, and what are they going to have to like face next?
Because I know some people. It's like, for example, like I mean, not to jump into what will future be another import section, but like One Piece. Like there is an end goal to that. They need to find the One Piece, and it's been going for like 10, 20 years. And then the joke becomes they still haven't found it. So, like, by not having a goal, you could have it be a long runner and keep coming up with stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise it becomes the question of, I can't believe they still haven't found it. It's like, shut up.
Which is why the villains are so good in that, in Walking Dead. It's like, you have to keep the adversaries interesting. Because, like, from Negan, like, baseball wielding, like, maniac to people who wear walker skins and like with knives and like sneak and all that to like right now like almost political stuff with like how to rebuild society, that type of stuff. It's like it's really interesting. Like like they might not never find a cure, but like that's okay if they keep like the conflicts interesting, that type of stuff.
That said, I would still like it. Like I mean, just from my perspective, I'd still like it to end with something that could denote a bit of finality and not just, well, we beat the latest villain of the arc and it's over, Yeah. Like I want there to be some form of finality to it.
Well,
definitely.
these comic series is like approaching the 200 issue mark.
Oh yeah.
And the creator Robert Kirkman says he wants to get to at least 300 issues. So maybe we'll start seeing like some sort of like finality to it. Maybe the Commonwealth will be like the first step into that type of stuff. So, but yeah, that's pretty much the negatives.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess the last section is we talk about some interesting stuff. So like I said, Castlevania is a game series that, for me, one of the most fun things is, I didn't get it when I first started learning about it, but it has a slightly comedic tone. there's some jokes in like
when I watched
references
the
stuff.
Netflix
Like for example, we watched the Netflix series, which I
Yeah.
haven't talked about, but that Netflix series is wonderful. But like, yeah, like the Netflix series, there's jokes in there, and it's funny. The characters are fun, right?
Yeah.
But like for example, in the classic Vanias, there's all sorts of joke weapons you can get. You can get a water pistol. 0 damage, but sprays enemies, heals plant type enemies, hurts fire type enemies, right? You can get a pie to throw. You can get a paper airplane. You can
cool.
get this stupidly gigantic, like, beam rifle thing that hops on your shoulder and it's like a giant, like, proton cannon, right?
Yeah.
So there's, like, all sorts of stuff like that. There's a lot of fun references to all sorts of franchises. You can get just stuff from JoJo. You can get, like, in one of the later games, when you kill enemies, you get their souls. And the soul is equipable like any sort of equipment, and it gives you a special power that you can use on one of your buttons, right?
Okay.
So, like, for instance, if you equip the soul of, like, a fire-type enemy, you'll be able to use, like, a flamethrower out of your hand. But there's one type of ghost that if you kill it, its soul will fly behind you as a ghost and punch, going, ora, 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 ora. And it's like, so there's... You know, there's all sorts of, like, really fun little jokey stuff and secrets. Like, for example, there'll be a chair that you can sit on that a ghost will come and serve you tea. And it's just, like there's all sorts of little small fun stuff that takes it from being just a normal sort of melodrama era piece thing to being a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that's what the characters really like. And, you know, even stuff as quirky as, in Symphony of the Night, you know what's faster than walking? Backdashing over and over. So to get through that game quickly, what do? You face backwards and keep backdashing away, and you're just it looks hilarious, but it works, right?
Yeah.
So and then, you know, later on, you know, Sheik's side B in Brawl and Melee there, where it's the whip there,
Yeah.
and then you can press the control stick to move it around, and it kind of flies around. That comes from Castlevania. That was a thing where you hold the whip button, he holds it out, and then he can just wiggle it around. And I remember as a kid figuring it out, I'm like, wow, like you can move his arm everywhere, and like it feels weird, because it almost feels 3D in a 2D game, right? Like it was really cool.
That's cool.
So it's definitely a series that has this tone that's distinctly Japanese in its way that it has fun with itself, and I love that. And of course, it was popular enough to have the main character be one of the crew of Captain N, where it was treated as, you know, one of Nintendo's top franchises, right? So that's why I do think he super deserves to be in Smash Bros. Like it is a series that is tied with Nintendo for sure. More so than Bayonetta was, you know.
Yeah.
Like I got one game, right? Like, this has been way back in time, but
Yeah.
What's some interesting stuff with The Walking Dead?
Okay, so when Robert Kirkman was first introducing the idea of The Walking Dead, like Zombie Tale, and it's like, we've had that before, that type of stuff. He kept getting denied over and over again, right?
Yeah.
By multiple publishing companies. So what he thought, he's going to...
And it's published by Image, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
just checking.
Skybound Image.
Yep.
Type, yeah. He came up with this story idea that aliens actually caused the zombie outbreak and took over and that's how they take over the world, and that's how he introduced the story to Image, and he's like, oh yeah, we'll do this, but like the guy didn't do that at all.
Didn't do it at all.
Yeah.
Well, as far as we know,
Which is there's another interesting point. Around volume 13 or 14 of the comic,
volume, not issue, right?
yeah,
Okay.
I don't remember what issue. I'm not going to
Fair enough.
bother.
No, go ahead.
Kirkman actually wrote a script of an alternate timeline where there's a part in the comic where he's arguing with Alexandria's previous leader about something, and he gets knocked out by Michonne, and then he wakes up in a bed, and the alien thing is actually like true, and aliens are like taking over the world, and the governor is like a robot.
Oh my god.
He's like returned and all that, and it's like crazy cool. But yeah, that's just like the whole alien aspect and how he actually got the series off the ground like that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Just lie to them. Just lie to the publisher. It's going to take forever to just say, oh, yeah, aliens are still coming. Don't worry.
They're still coming. Don't worry.
They're still coming.
But yeah, that's
great.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
That'd be crazy.
It'll be like, it'll just be like, oh yeah, if you look at like every, in the background of like put together every issue with number 7 in it, and it'll read just the aliens did it if you put it all together or something. That'd be the best.
And another thing, Kirkman is never going to reveal like the cause of the outbreak, but he's only told one person in the world, and it was his daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did she just say, wow, that's lame?
I don't know what she said. He didn't say what she said.
God, that just reminds me, not to bring it up again, but that just reminds me of, there was a kid in the hospital, and his Make-A-Wish Foundation wish was he wanted to know what the One Piece was. And so the author went there and told him, and he said, you can't tell anyone. And the kid like cried and said, it's the most beautiful thing ever. And he passed away with that knowledge. But he literally was there crying, saying it's the most beautiful thing ever. And then the only thing he answered was, someone asked, like, was it like friendship? And the kid's like, no, it's so much better. And I'm like, and so everyone's like, oh my God. So not to bring up One Piece again, but yeah.
But yeah, that's the interesting stuff for Walking Dead.
Cool. All right, well, take your pick. Have you been convinced to pick up one of these things that you've never had a chance to look at? Well, tell us if maybe you've been convinced. And now we have letter time.
First ever.
First time we've always had the thing open for letters.
Yes.
Which you can send to emails to
shipsworldwidepodcast at gmail.com.
That's shipsworldwidepodcast at gmail.com.
No spaces, hyphens, none of that.
Nope. So we got a letter here from Mauricio, aka Mark1246. Hi, Tanner and friend
Adrian.
That's it.
It's Adrian.
It's Adrian. That's it. Mauricio here, aka Mark1246 from Twitter. First time listener and writing email to you guys. Hey, you're the first time email, period. I found out about you from Hellfire Comms. That's you were on Hellfire Comms too, with the for the Segathon or Sonython. I was Segathon. I'm doing Segathon right now. And started watching your LP. Didn't know you had a podcast until I saw the newest episode on YouTube. It's criminally underrated how cool your podcast is, but fine for me since I get to send more emails. So here are my quick fire questions. Number 1. Ooh, you're going to have a lot to say about this, I'm sure. Since JoJo Part 5 is coming out in October, what is your origin with JoJo? So what did we, like, where did we hear about it first?
You.
So I want to know what your answer. I'll do my answer first, but then I want to hear your answer. So I remember JoJo way back in the day for the Capcom arcade game and seeing footage of a guy who could like pause time and then drop a steamroller and go whee! So I was like, that's a bit weird. That's cool. But I didn't watch it until J-Stars was coming out and they revealed the playable cast, and I said, okay, I want to watch at least one episode from every character show that's in this game. And a couple of them I watched a couple episodes on, but then I got to JoJo and I watched one episode and I said, what is this and why is this so weird? Like, it's weird and kind of awesome. So then I ended up watching all of JoJo from that, and I'm like, this is the coolest thing. And after that, I not only watched it, but then, of course, I got to the point where, okay, I've watched all that they've adapted. I can't stop here. I gotta read it. So then I started reading it, and I ended up reading everything up to... I haven't read all of the latest. I've actually dropped off about halfway through the latest JoJo Part 8, but I need to get back to that. But I read almost all of it, so yeah. Now I want to know what you remember. I'm interested in this.
I remember you showing me a few episodes, I think.
Did I?
I think so. I think it was like previous, like they were like young.
Okay, so that would have been part 1 then, yeah.
Oh yeah, you showed me like the beginning of the show.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then I remember Roundabout.
Do you remember? Oh yeah, right. Yeah, well, everyone knows about it from the Roundabout meme, which is weird. But do you remember hearing about it at all before me? Did you see it on the internet anywhere? Or?
Not that I can remember, honestly.
Okay.
I think I just saw JoJo, and I'm like, what?
Okay, fair enough.
That type of stuff.
What is your favorite and worst part? So my favorite part is... see, that's tough. I really like part 2. but and I really like part 3 as well, because just all the stuff in part 3 is just fun and classic. Part 4 is outstanding. I'm gonna have to probably go with part 4, because part 4 has, I think, the best tone. What is my least favorite part? Definitely part 5. I'm excited to see the anime hopefully make it better.
But it's not coming out till October.
I read part 5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the anime in part 5.
Okay.
Part 5 definitely has some problems with just the story going a bit weird. It also had a bad translation when I read it, so I was reading it with horrible, super literal English translations, which makes it not that good. So yeah, I wasn't a big fan, but I want to see it do really well. Ironically, I just looked down and said your favorite part is part 5. Whoops. Have you seen the leaked episode? No, because if I want to watch JoJo, I want to watch it on my screen and not someone's cell phone video. That's just how I am. I want to watch it when it comes out. My favorite is part 5. Hey, that's cool. I get why people like part 5. It's just for me, how I was reading, I didn't super like it. What I don't like is part 6 and part 8. I really like part 6 because having a female protagonist really changed it up. And just the whole... Part 6 is set almost exclusively in a jail. So imagine Orange is the New Black, but there's superpowers. It's really cool. And part 8 is weird. Poochie and Weather Report are the best part in 6. Poochie's an awesome villain. It's a shame his name is synonymous with the dog from The Simpsons. Okay, number 2. I know you guys like video games and anime a lot, but do you guys watch any live action TV shows?
I think I watch live action TV shows exclusively.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
If so, what are you watching?
Right now?
Right now.
Well, How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
Better Call Saul. Like those really high quality drama shows I really like.
Okay.
Like Walking Dead, Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad. All exclusively on AMC.
Yep.
That's what I find. Other than that, I watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I did
Marvel
not
shows.
watch any of the latest seasons so far.
I need to do that still.
Yeah. Apparently it's really good.
Yeah.
And apparently I have not watched it, so.
I just don't want to buy the episodes.
That was, well, I could watch it on TV here because I recorded it. I still don't get why you didn't just record it.
I thought I did, but they skipped episodes for some reason.
Weird.
My DVR skips episodes.
Weird. Yeah, that's a show that I did watch. I did watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and enjoy that. But then I dropped off of it. Live action TV shows that I watch.
Yeah, I can't imagine you watching any.
Like there are. I was gonna say there are a couple, but does Kamen Rider count?
Not really.
I mean, it's kind of yeah. No, I don't watch too much. Mostly it just comes down to...
You don't like drama TV shows?
I watched a bit of some J-drama. I watched some Japanese live action shows.
Western live
but
action.
yeah, no, there's very few Western live action. It just, most of them don't appeal to me super much. I do watch movies, but not TV shows. It takes a lot for me to get really into a good live action TV show. It has to have some big pull for me.
Like a hype factor?
A big hype factor.
Yeah.
Oh, I did watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine recently.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that show's so funny. Oh, it's so good.
That one.
It's really good. That's definitely one I could throw on and play a game too also, because just the jokes will still hit. Terry Crews in that is amazing. Yeah, that's about it. Not too much. I'm the guy on Patreon who's making Tom of Hellfire Comes watch the CWDC The Flash, because that show is underrated and deserved more audience, because I was bored one day and saw the season 2 decided to give it a chance. I regret not watching it day 1. Thanks. Go ahead.
I heard that The Flash is actually kind of teetering off in terms of quality. Because after Flashpoint in season 3, where they would...
I heard Flashpoint happened and then it unhappened real fast.
There was 2 episodes.
That's a bit of a shame.
Yeah. It was the rest of the season was just about the repercussions of it.
Oh, yeah.
But I hear Arrow got really good again.
Oh, really? I remember you going off on how bad it got.
Yeah, it got bad, but now apparently it's better now.
Huh.
So,
okay.
Yeah. That whole DC TV universe is kind of yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, because there's Legends of Tomorrow and now Supergirl and now Black Lightning.
Is that connected to it?
Yeah.
Oh,
somewhat. Yeah.
Huh. Thanks, guys. Hope to hear my question on the podcast soon. P.S. My PSN is HPRF. Hey, there you go.
Oh.
For anyone looking for people to play with. Well, hey, I don't play much PSN, honestly. People are always like, hey, add me on PSN. And I'm like, I'm not going to, for the sheer fact that I don't play games online.
Yeah.
Like, unless it's like Street Fighter
or Fortnite. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't play games online, so I won't personally. But hey, if you want to send them a message and you can do that, I don't. I use like I buy PlayStation Plus for like randoms in Street Fighter Online, but that's about it. Like I don't play games online. I might do it with Smash a bit though. I might have some Smash when Smash Ultimate comes out. I might have to do some Discord Smash Mondays or whatever where I'll just sit down and play Smash with people. We'll see. Yeah. So that about ends it for this week here.
Oh, yeah.
We are at too many tabs open. Yeah, 2.5 hours roughly altogether. We are. What are we looking forward to coming up in the next little bit here?
Oh, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp to talk about.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, and we learned that my mom and dad apparently just went off to go watch that movie, so there we go. I almost forgot. So, spoilers start now for Ant-Man and the Wasp. If you have not seen it, we're going to talk...
Let's say like our...
Spoiler free. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I do think it's probably one of the weakest movies of this phase.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Still a good movie, though. I would say, yes, you need to see Ant-Man before. You can't go in without that knowledge.
Not.
It's not super MCU important.
No. It's a fun movie.
But it's a fun movie.
I saw it again the second time.
You and you're watching movies multiple times. I don't get it.
I watch every MCU movie at least twice in theaters.
That's weird.
And I enjoyed it more the second time.
Okay.
Knowing like what it was.
Personally, I still think the first movie is I would prefer to watch the first movie again over watching this one again. It felt very much like a second movie to me. As in even though I think it has big improvements on the first movie, I still do think that, I like the first one more. It's just like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 for me. I still think the second one might be better in many regards, but I still prefer the first.
No, I like Guardians.
It takes a lot for me to like the sequel more. So that might be why. But otherwise, I think we're going to go into spoiler talk now.
Okay.
To talk about some of the bigger plot points.
Kind of like the end of the movie.
Well, a little bit end of the movie, but overall like repercussions and stuff in singular scenes. But okay. So if you're turning off by spoilers, bye. And if you're sticking around, let's get going. Okay. There's a body count in this movie that we didn't address when we first watched it.
There is?
So remember when the briefcase building inflates on the pier there? And like it like accidentally and like the people rush away. People died from that.
Did they?
There's gotta be. There was a huge crowd there. And then the building expanded. There's no way. You can't tell me people didn't die from that. I guess. Right?
Might have. Was it even bigger body count at the end of the movie?
Well, yeah. Wait. Okay, let's get the elephant out of the room. I totally saw that as the after credits scene.
Oh, yeah. It was going to happen.
And it's weird because some people saying, I can't believe they did that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That's the most obvious thing.
Yeah, it's like the biggest thing happening in the universe right now.
Did you hear that they did confirm that the snap killed half the ants as well?
It's just animals.
But half the ants.
That's a lot of ants.
That's a lot of ants.
That's a lot of ants.
But, so yeah, the snap, I totally saw coming.
Did you see that people saw Thanos' face in the quantum realm?
What?
When he was stuck in there?
What?
And the colors of the background were colored to the Infinity Stones?
No.
Yeah.
I
saw it the second time and watched. I didn't see Thanos' face, but I saw the colors of the Infinity Gauntlet.
Well, wasn't there one point where people... Never mind. Never mind, that's okay. I definitely feel like the setup for how Ant-Man is going to get out of his predicament...
He's going to go through the time vortexes.
But won't he still be small?
No, because he has the thing where
I guess. Grow. It's going to be interesting where they go from here. Because, yeah, you say he just goes through time portals, but, there's still a chance that was just a one-off thing that they said.
Maybe, but,
that's what we think. They think, oh, don't go into the time portal
but knowing what we know about Avengers 4, there's, time stuff, obviously. And, like, they didn't need Jeanette didn't just say time vortexes as a thing like that.
Yeah, like that was a pretty big thing to say.
It never mentioned before type of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be interesting to see.
It's funny to think how, like, important Ant-Man is now.
Yeah,
to save the universe.
If he's the thing that it's like he goes back in time
way.
and fixes it, like that's pretty strong because and I think that would excuse him not being in the first movie.
Yeah.
I felt the villain was sympathetic, but not logical.
And the whole ending, like when Jeanette just healed her,
yeah,
just kind of felt like a throwaway plot.
It was a bit weird. It was a bit strange. I'd say a weaker villain after we've had many good villains in a row.
I'm thinking like, would you say that Calicius from Doctor Strange is better or worse villain than Ghost?
I'm sorry, who?
In Doctor Strange, the
Caecilius?
Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, Caecilius, not Calicius.
Oh, whatever, dude.
Come on. Okay, but I never viewed him as the villain. I viewed him as the second in command.
I guess.
Unlike Caecilius, there's no one that Spectre is working. Ghost? Spectre? Ghost. Sorry, there's no one that Ghost is working under. She's working for herself, you know? So as such, she has to have a good motivation to be doing this. Caecilius, it's, well, I've got to do it for Dormammu. It's as simple as that. Yeah. Praise him, right? So him being weaker is fine. He's the second in command. You know, Dormammu was the real villain, really. Like when you think about it, because he's kind of commanding them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and you could say, well, he wasn't there for most of the movie, but he was still the major villain.
So then I'd say Ghost is like the weakest villain in Phase 3.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah. That's, I think, and I still think that this is probably the weakest movie in Phase 3.
You'd say it's worse than Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
I guess.
I do.
But it's not a bad movie.
No, and that's the thing. That's the thing. I mean, I say that, but like, it's a super fine movie. But what I would say is, if you're not unlike, say, you know, like even I would recommend Doctor Strange to someone who isn't a superhero fan or isn't a MCU fan, right? Yeah. I feel like unlike that, this does not have appeal to a non-superhero MCU fan.
If they don't I'd say you could skip this movie, but with that post-credits scene, it's like if you were to watch the Infinity, the final act of this.
What I would say is if you have any.
It's kind of like Thor the Dark. It's like kind of Thor the Dark World of Phase 3.
A little bit. You're not wrong. But no, I wouldn't recommend Thor to anyone. But
no.
What I would say is if you are at all interested in the MCU and you've watched even a couple movies, then this would be a good movie for you. But this will not be the movie to convert you. No. Unlike, say, Black Panther. Yeah. Unlike, say, heck, even Infinity War. I mean, I'm sure if you walked into Infinity War knowing nothing, it would still be a spectacle, right? Yeah. You still go, what are these characters? It's so interesting, you know. Unlike that, it's like you don't have enough, you know, really to go off of. I will say, not as funny as Spider-Man. Also,
you gotta say that when they were in the school. When he was half shrunken down.
That was really funny. But I'd say overall, it was funny, but not the funniest.
No.
I felt like they should have made it almost more funny.
Yeah.
To go off of. Because it's Ant-Man. You don't need to make a very serious movie with Ant-Man, right? And there was the comedy, but I feel like it should have been funnier.
I did watch some reviews of it too, and I do agree with some of the points that they made. Is the film is kind of shot plainly.
Very. Oh yeah.
That's
it does not have a style to it.
No.
Unlike a lot of the previous movies. I mean, heck, even Doctor Strange. Yeah. Doctor Strange has a very unique style. Yeah. It's very interesting. The filming of it. Yeah, no, definitely. It's a lot more of a base. That's why I say it is a pared down basic Marvel movie. That's not to say it's bad. But
better than Justice League.
Oh, it's better than almost every DC movie still. And that goes to show something. Even when Marvel is at its most, and I mean... mediocre, right? Yeah. Even when it's at its most mediocre, it's still making really good movies.
Yeah.
And really fun movies. You know? And I mean, like, people hate it, but I love all the side characters. Like, they're fun. The Russian guy is like, when you start talking about the Baba Yaga, I was marking out, because anyone who's like a fan of Strong Bad and like all that back in the day, it's like just all these like old jokes, and it's really good.
There are also theories that what's his name, Sonny Bridges, the businessman guy, he was like working for a higher class guy to get that tech, the quantum tech, for someone.
Oh, yeah?
People are saying that's like Norman Osborn and like Oscorp. And that'll
What if it's Doctor Doom?
Or that too. But right now it's realistically like
that. Yeah, they could easily bring that back.
Yeah.
100%. No, and yeah,
it should make Ant-Man and the Wasp an even more important movie.
Yeah, no, for sure. So like we say, I think it's not the Marvel's best, but still good.
Yeah.
And like
it's a nice break from Infinity War.
Yes, for sure. Not too much of a break, though, with that ending, but it gave you a bit of a grim reminder there at the end, but definitely a nice break.
The very end, the post-credit scene at the very end, where it's like the quiet house with the warning on the TV. And it's like, wow. It's like, I love how like high the stakes are in the universe. I know it's like eventually they're going to save the day. Everything's going to be fine, but like right now, in that time, in that point of the universe, like knowing like half the universe is gone, it's just like, wow.
Captain Marvel is next, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't wait for
that. That's again going to be a bit of a...
prequel.
Well, yeah, it's a prequel, so it's going to be...
But it's going to lend itself to, like,
lesser stakes, but going to be big overall.
Yes.
So, definitely, yeah.
Because she's going to be, like, the most powerful. She's going to be the one to kill Thanos, I think. Or to contribute.
We'll see. We'll see what happens, yeah.
To flip the table,
yeah,
at least.
For sure.
Definitely.
All right. I think that's about it. We don't have to say too much more.
No.
It is not Marvel's best, but good movie. All right, so we will be seeing you all next week.
Next week.
Or 2 weeks, right? Yeah, yes. 2 weeks. I'm so used to saying next week.
If nothing comes up.
If nothing comes up, unless there's a big emergency, which could happen. But probably not. If you have any questions, feel free to send them in. We will answer them. We will do our best to answer them. Again, try and mix... I mean, hey, we got one really good one with your live action and my JoJo, so it kind of balanced out there. But, yeah, we will see you all next time. Ciao.
Bye-bye.